What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Plays Live. I'm James Duggan, joined by Kyle O'Connor.
What's up, guys?
And we're playing, oh my god, we're playing World of
We
Warcraft
get to
Legion.
play WoW for work now. Oh,
We no longer have to play WoW in secret. It is now hip to be playing WoW, because Legion is out. This is the expansion. We're taking a look at my Moonkin Druid here, though I am main feral.
I really hate you for playing.
And you may be asking, why am I in the Golden Terrace? Well, I want to show off a couple abilities, mainly these artifact abilities. One of the major selling points of this are these artifact weapons,
Monster.
which are...
You're a monster. I
Here
can't
we
believe
go.
you're playing.
Just check this out. Just watch. Tell me this isn't cool. I'm going to turn off the UI for this. Here's my full moon. This is the artifact ability for the Moonkin Druid. Ba-boom! It's pretty dope.
I want to let you enjoy this, just so you can enjoy it.
Yeah, well, you know who else is enjoying it? Everybody who's watching, because this is amazing.
You're feral druid. I've had such a grudge against druids since Lich King.
So
With all
check
the
me
arena. Oh, you look pretty tight.
Yeah, so
That
these are
looks
the Fangs of Ashamain. This is my main spec, but I am going to be playing balance just because there's... this is not my home setup, and there's a lot of buttons on this. But check that out. It alters
really
your
cool.
appearance.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
So let's just quickly check out the...
Oh, look,
bam, bam, bam,
kitty,
bam, 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 bam.
Kitty is slashing.
All right, and now we're going to go do
Well,
Druid stuff.
you're clearly a scrub because you didn't wiggle back and forth while you were attacking.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
you got to
You're
do
right.
that. That's
My
how
bad.
you know you're doing a lot more damage.
Like I said, not my setup. That's if anything bad happens on the stream, that's what I'm blaming. So let's go check out the new content, shall we? The stuff that people actually want to see. Being a druid at the best class in the game, I get to use this new ability.
No. You can't just say that and then just continue like it's...
Well, it's important. I get to use this new ability called Dreamwalk, which is taking me to the Emerald Dreamway, one of the most sought-after locations in all of World of Warcraft. Check it out, Kyle. Even you, in your druid saltiness, will think that this is cool. So this is the Emerald Dreamway. And what this is a place just for druids, just for the intellectually enlightened who have chosen the best class.
Then why are druids here?
And
what is happening?
Look at this. Look at this map. It takes me to wherever I want to go. I can go to the Hinterlands, Duskwood, Moonglade, Grizzly Hills, Feralus, Mount Hyjal, and of course the Dream Grove, which is where we're going to head because that is the new druid class. What do you think about this? This is dope. And let's just cap it off right here.
Whoa, go back to your moose form.
I mean, check that out.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know, I really just want to crush your dreams, but I want you to enjoy your druidiness.
It's dope. You wouldn't hate it if you tried it.
No, I have a druid. Come on.
Well, what's wrong with you if you're not playing?
Let me see. I am looking at comments, so if you guys have anything to say, you can tweet at us, either at IGN or Thug and Duggan or
Yes.
Kyle with
Make
the
sure
hashtag.
hashtag.
IGN Plays Live.
Got it.
I am also watching all the comments in Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, IGN.com, smoke signals, any sort of hardcore snail mail you want to send us. Anything you want to say.
So look at this place. It can't get any more druidy than this. And we are actually going to start by
No, and everyone's not getting cycloned.
We are going to
I'm so
start
mad
by
at druids.
acquiring my third, because you know druids have 4 specs because they're so awesome.
I hate you so much.
All right, let's go ahead and acquire the.
I gotta add to the extra saltiness
Sure,
I have
sure,
is
please.
the fact that you get to level your character while we're streaming. I
Yes.
do not get to level.
Yes. Well, I was going to acquire my third
No one
artifact legendary there, but apparently.
No one wants to watch the hippie tree huggers talk about cuddling bears and
Whoa,
owls.
whoa! I'm not a shaman. What are you talking about?
Laser owls. People want to watch paladins smite the undead.
They want to watch somebody hit 2 buttons.
You have been doing drugs if you think
Okay.
it's 2 buttons.
All right, let's. Why don't we actually just go to the
something.
Legion content?
Yeah, do something.
So I was gonna go on an artifact quest there, but that seems to be not functioning. So I'm just gonna go ahead and teleport to Dalaran, which
Yeah,
is
the superior druid culture can't even get quests handed out.
Yep. We're setting the tone.
I know.
We'll limit our druid exposition from here on out.
No. Cool. Hashtag druid suck in YouTube chat.
Hashtag Spectral Tiger Druids are the best.
Spectral Tiger. That's pretty sweet. Show them the one we got the other night.
Oh, I have to go into my.
Emily Baker in YouTube comments says, this is slightly making me want to play again. So, I gotta say, I've been a WoW player since before BC. I've been a WoW player. And, I played everything pretty much up until Cataclysm, and then I dropped off. I didn't really play much Pandaria. I didn't really play much Draenor. But this expansion feels like it's actually... oh, is this the Druid Hall?
No.
What is this?
No, we were just in the Druid Hall. This is we're doing a quest now.
Okay.
So I completed one zone, and what's kind of happening? Oh, sweet! I get a new.
Oh, you got a
I gotta make sure I set my
Nice.
loot specialization to feral. Sweet, it already is.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Bobby Kells asked, will they ever make WoW multi-systems Xbox One? No. It'll never hit consoles.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit consoles.
Never ever hit consoles.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna choose another zone to go quest in. And the way I'm gonna do that is by actually going back to the Druid Hall.
Someone's asking you to use a flashy Druid power.
Oh, I will. There will be many flashy Druid powers
I thought
used.
you said the dream place was not the Druid Hall. That is the Druid Hall.
No. This takes me to the Druid. This takes me wherever I want to go. This is
Okay.
basically the Rainbow Road.
It's really pretty. I like all the flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah, so, and a big part of one of those zones I completed already is...
Battle Moose.
Battle Moose.
Battle Moose is tight.
So you can see this corruption. This is kind of a theme throughout the expansion, is the corruption of the Emerald Dream into the Emerald Nightmare, and without giving away too many spoilers, bad things are happening. The Legion has invaded the Broken Shore, and we're trying to kick them out.
E-Root in Twitch chat says, I deem James and Kyle IGN's buff boys.
Oh, that's so
Thanks,
nice
James
of
Faulkner.
you.
That's awesome.
If you notice...
You'll also notice we're also rocking our Alliance and Horde shirts.
We're also rocking our various... Just because we're on different factions doesn't mean we can't be friends.
You see, I started Alliance
Sure.
because in Diablo I played a Paladin. And I love Paladins. I love everything about
And you
Paladins.
could only be Paladin on
Originally,
Alliance.
when you could only be a Paladin on Alliance. And then I have a couple Horde characters. I have a Tauren Druid, Tauren Warrior. I have an Undead Mage.
I'm gonna show this off real quick. So here is where you can upgrade your Artifact Legendary. And
Max Penguin says sweet shirts.
Hey, thanks. When you are a Druid, that means that if you look over here, check this out. Here's my cat form, right? So if I go over here to appearances, we can see, oh,
Ooh.
look, I've unlocked a new one. So
Oh, rock that one, dude. Black and purple? What?
Yeah,
That's
so-
rad.
And then here I can be a tree if I want, which, why wouldn't I want?
Dude, that is cool.
There's all these. And
Can you rotate it yourself, or is it just going
No,
slowly?
it's kind of just doing its own thing.
That's
The
why.
camera is still kind of mounted to my guy for whatever reason. But yeah, like and then there are also secret appearances, and a lot of these appearances you get from some very
What-
prestigious.
I mean, you got to go to the bottom ones. Come on, dude.
What? Oh,
Incarnation of Nightmare. Like,
they're
what
all
a-
right. I think my favorite one is definitely
Well,
this one.
Can you show me the bear form? Like,
I haven't.
oh,
I have
that one's
not
really cool.
unlocked the. Oh, you'll like this one actually.
Dude.
Some Zulian Tiger action going on. I have not unlocked the Guardian Druid spec yet because I chose these other two. So we're going to switch back over to balance and we're going to get into this content, do some quests, hopefully knock out a majority of a zone here.
And then he gets the level, and then I have to go home and be
That's
4 levels behind.
exactly why I'm doing the stream.
It's not
And
for you guys, it's for Duggan.
I actually thought that Dalaran quest was going to be a continuation of a quest line, but it was the end of one. So
Let's see.
poo-poo on me.
I am checking out the comments. I am going in between, all the platforms we are on. I'm also going to check out Twitter.
You can do it.
Hashtag IGN Plays Live. Yeah, I'm not feeling too good.
It's okay. Where do you want to go next? Do you want to go Stormheim? That looks like a really cool area.
Oh, that's actually where I've started.
Okay, let's check that out.
That's a cool majigger.
So there was a whole Druid aesthetic in the area that I started in because why wouldn't I start in that area? And then
Oh, shut up
also
about Druid.
there was a cool like Worgen night elf thing going on, kind of like a medieval night elf thing going on in the Blackrock Hold. So we're back in Dalaran. We're gonna talk to this guy, have him fly us to our destination, or not.
No, you gotta see. You're not paying attention. You gotta go to the Stormwind Harbor, and then you gotta get on the airship.
What?
Yeah.
Is that what it said?
Yeah. Go check it out. Champion of the Bench.
Oh, Violet Citadel.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta go there.
Well then, I guess let's mount up. I
Uh,
want to show off some more of my
Let
mount
me
collection
see.
here.
Let's
What's your favorite mount, Kyle?
Ooh.
Is it this one? Is it?
I showed him the one we got the other day.
I did.
You did?
We were just using it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna mount this bad boy.
I gotta say, I love the Paladin mount. I love the freaking Paladin mount. I got it when it was like a whole quest line you had to get for the
Yeah.
epic. That was really fun. But I'm absolutely biased.
You'll notice that my boy Hamel Room Totem is following me.
Oh snap!
My mentor is following
That
me
is a
around.
I cool tier set. Druids have some really cool tier armor.
They do. And if we weren't short on if we weren't time constricted, I would pop open. I may just do it actually. If there's some RP nonsense happening.
That's been my that's been the thing that really pulled me back with this expansion. Weirdly enough, let's talk about the class change. Like,
Sure.
I think we've been bagging back and forth on the fact that druids are terrible.
They're not though.
That portal back
You
there.
think so?
Well, see.
Yeah.
Oh no, read the letter in your bag. You're not paying attention. There's a letter in your bag.
There we go.
And then, this traitor. And then you take the portal. I forgot your horde.
I'm the greatest.
Yep. And then you get onto the boat, and then
Got
you
it.
gotta do all the
You
inspection
mean
stuff.
the Dark Ladies fleet?
Yep. So one big thing I really liked about this expansion is it stopped, I believe the correct term is homogenization of the classes.
I agree.
Every
Check this
class felt the same. Oh yeah, wow, that guy looks awesome.
Too bad warriors aren't good in duels.
Oh yeah, but dueling is not life.
It is for me.
Yeah, because you can't PvP.
Whoa! I'm gonna duel you for that. With my superior self heal, you'll lose.
With your cute boomkin. Okay.
No.
Anyway, let's go back. Let's talk.
Yes.
Let's talk about the classes. One thing I did not like in I believe it kind of started Cataclysm. I would say.
I'd say Wrath even.
Yeah, near the end of Wrath, all the classes started to have the same abilities. Like everyone had an execute. Oh wow, that looks really good. That's really cool. What's that from?
That is the new Druid armor.
Dude, the blue set you can get from the Paladin class hall is really cool. Is that your equivalent?
No. This is raid
Okay.
content.
So every class started to get the abilities of all the other classes. Like everyone got some sort of sprint.
Yeah.
Everyone got some sort of execute
Not necessarily
or blink.
the exact abilities, but certainly
Essentially.
Right. It eroded the class fantasy.
Yes.
Because each class started to become samey, and they kind of went back and decided what?
We want the banana paladin.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's talking about the paladin armor, the big gold paladin armor.
Oh, the cheese paladin. Yeah,
Yeah,
banana paladin. But I guess it does look like a banana. I'll concede on that. Oh my God, Sylvanas, you are slow. So there would be some.
You've got to go give thumbs up to your troops.
Oh God.
You're not even paying attention.
Okay, hold on. Let me just untrack all these other quests because they're clearly distracting me. I don't need
Anyway,
herbalism right now.
so all the classes started to have abilities that were very similar to each other. They, mages had their blink, and then druids got blink, and then priests had a vanish, and everyone had an execute, and all this stuff was just, there was really no reason to play anything other than the optimal class that could do everything you wanted. And in this expansion, they've started to, iron it out and give everyone what's the phrase you use? Make it really true to the class fantasy lore.
Yes, class fantasy.
You guys speak what?
I am speaking with them. Should be smooth sailing, they say. Well, maybe there's another guy up here. Nope, that's the only one. What's up? Do I need to?
Anyway, I'm gonna read comments.
Please.
Let me
Speak with Dread Captain Tattersail. What's up? What you want? First escort you. Okay, cool. There we go. That took a minute.
People really. What do you think of vanilla servers?
Oh, that's a really great debate, actually. But here's a sweet cinematic.
It's not that cool.
I actually have the dialogue turned off, so I don't think we're going to hear anything.
There's nothing.
Well, anyway, let's talk about vanilla servers real quick. I think not to echo J. Allen Bragg, because I think what he said was very poorly spoken. He said, you think you do, but you don't, in regards to wanting vanilla servers. Had a PR guy been there, he would have been like, don't say another word, because that is going to offend a lot of people, because how dare you tell me what I want? But the sentiment that he was getting at, I do think is valid, that there were a lot of quality of life things that aren't present in vanilla. So I think what was people, obviously there is, if Nostalrius proved anything, she's talking. Anyway, if Nostalrius proved anything, I think it's that there is a demand for vanilla servers. But that being said, I think we just want to see the things that made vanilla great echoed in the current game as well, in addition to potentially vanilla servers. I would actually really be into the idea of a progression server. That's something that I would like to do. But
Explain.
So I think there are things in World of Warcraft now that change the game in a way that you can't go back to the vanilla stuff, like flying mounts. I think flying mounts is a huge one. I think flying mounts completely destroys world PvP. Now there's this spec toad boomerang, but
What is that?
that knocks people off their mount, so that's
Nice.
kind of cool. But I think the things that I want out of my vanilla experience are this emergent exploration-based experience, and honestly, a lot of that just comes from oh yeah, take it, Griffins. A lot of that just comes from the design. I think Warlords of Draenor, it's really hard to have a 14-month dry spell in your game with no content that people are paying $15 a month for, and then be angry when they complain about wanting vanilla servers. Because I think what those people want is content. And the kind of content they want, when they remember the game the most fondly, was when it was super, 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 super on the up and up. and that was Vanilla into Burning Crusade into Wrath. But my goodness, do I feel what?
You gotta attack the mage.
I'm sorry. Without these audio cues.
Here's Druid players
No,
in their
that is
natural
not,
environment.
Don't you dare even
no
say
idea
that.
what they're doing. They just get to easy mode, press whatever button they
That
want.
is you are playing a paladin. You cannot. You have 2 abilities. You cannot say that.
Excuse me, I have 3. Thank
Yeah,
you very
exactly.
much. No, we have way more than that. You don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Look at him.
You really don't.
He's stumbling through it, trying to figure out what's happening, and he needs the paladin to hold his hand.
Because you've already done the quest content.
No,
And
I
I'm
did it
also-
on Alliance side.
I'm on a rant about vanilla.
I would like to say that I don't think vanilla servers are cool. I think it's not a good idea. Vanilla was not as good as you remember through your nostalgia tinted glasses.
I mean, but clearly there's a large group of people that think that that's not the case.
I didn't say there aren't people that want it. I just said it's not as cool as you think it is. It wasn't that fun. You're shooting your own guys. Those are bats.
No, you can't hit your guys.
Oh, okay.
That's how it works.
No, I was just
no
saying you're aiming
friendly
at the wrong
fire.
target.
Oh, I know. There's no griffins though. That is fun.
It's not. It's not that fun. And I played original WoW. I did the raids. I did the PvP. I did the world PvP. Like I did everything you're gonna try to use as a trump card thing. It's fun.
It's not a trump card. There's an experience there that is valid.
But the experience is only there if you have the population on the server. And if it's, I don't think it's as in demand as people want it to be for Blizzard to devote resources to it.
Yeah, that's fair. But I also don't think that like it should be actively shut down. I don't think that
It totally should. They're using their branded content to run a whole product on. Anyway, I could get into a debate about this.
yeah, but like that's not something that they're making money off of, or
But they're
basically
but
there's
they're
an
losing
experience
money
there.
because it's people who would be playing regular WoW that are now playing on.
Not necessarily. I think a lot of the people who aren't interested in Legion.
If they're losing one person, they're losing.
Sure, and that's a valid point, and it is their game, and they can do what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's difficult to say that there's an experience. There's no valid experience in vanilla that like Legion offers everything. It doesn't. There are things in vanilla that are not present in Legion because they've taken the game in a different direction.
I really miss 5-minute buffs and just everything costing 12,000.
I really miss World PvP. I really miss emergent content where players got together and did things that didn't.
Aren't you on a PvP server?
Yeah, but
Didn't you say they aren't? People weren't PvPing when you were leveling?
right.
I don't think World PvP is as fun as people remember.
It's super fun. I was doing it before. There was a ton of it before the expansion. I was having a great time doing it. I try in World PvP any opportunity I get. But like that's an experience that is subjectively fun to me, and you can't tell me that experience is invalid.
I didn't say that. I just think it's not as fun as everyone remembers.
It is as fun. Like maybe I think the way that I said it is less of like a definitive way of saying it, which is there are experiences in vanilla that were less there was less ease of use. It was not necessarily as there were parts of it that were unfun and grindy. Fine, but
ease of use. So you're saying there was stuff that wasn't as streamlined and easy to do, right?
Right. And there's a ton of that stuff. And
But
yes,
difficulty and complexity does not necessarily mean a better experience. It's the same argument I make with Dark Souls.
But that's not my point. So my point.
That seemed what it was.
No. The ease of use thing is like what you were saying about the fact that it's not as fun as you remember. Is yes, there were parts of it that were grindy and stupid. But there were also parts of it.
There were a lot of parts that were grindy and stupid.
Sure.
Rep grind.
But you were saying your opinion for you. This is not like an overarching opinion.
Oh no, I'm not trying to speak as fact or represent everyone. I feel like people have this image of this feeling in their gut from when they originally played WoW, when they were 14 and 15 and had all the free time in the world to play and grind, and it was the best thing ever, and all your friends were playing. Like, that's a unique experience that you shouldn't want to taint by going back and reliving it.
But what do you say to the people who were playing on Nostalgias for a year and a half who were really enjoying that experience? And it was everything that they remembered, and they were having a good time. They were sticking around. Like, how do you invalidate their experience there?
I'm not.
Right, but that's exactly like you're saying that those people weren't having a good time, but clearly they
no.
were
I
having
just
a good
said
time.
it's not as fun as everyone remembers. Like, everyone's talking. I have all those friends we play with. They're like, "Oh yeah, WoW, vanilla WoW is the best iteration I've ever." No, I would absolutely say it's not the best iteration.
Yeah, I agree there.
It's not the end all and be all, and I personally don't think.
However, I think you're looking at it in a black and white capacity when there are all these different tendrils of things that you can do in World of Warcraft that make the game it is. Some of that is PvP, some of that is PvE, and there are parts of the game now that are inaccessible, that were accessible, that just cannot be
what
done.
explicitly is inaccessible?
Large-scale world PvP in the old world.
Well,
Now it's not as much of
large
a
scale.
like you getting in a raid,
40 man.
sure,
Okay.
and just raiding PvP in the open world for fun,
What's stopping you from doing that now?
flying mounts.
Okay, that's totally fine. But why is flying mounts going to stop you as a 40 man raid from raiding a city?
Because everybody's just gonna fly. Like
Okay.
it's that simple.
Then you just take over the
There's no way to engage. You cannot so the whole topography and this is echoed in Legion. This is echoed in every single expansion since after Mists has disallowed flying from the start, and it's something that they reintroduced into the game later. That's because it completely negates the interaction you have with the world. You don't have to interact with the topography. You don't have to interact with the world bosses. You don't have to interact with the mobs. You don't have to interact with the players. You can skip all of that. So that says to me that flying mounts maybe was not the best
You
idea.
explicitly said you liked flying mounts when we started this conversation.
What do you mean?
You said, "Oh, I like."
No. I think flying mounts were a terrible mistake.
I'm positive you said you like flying mounts.
I do not like flying mounts. I like the concept.
I'm gonna rewatch this after the fact, and I'm gonna go to the timestamp where you said
when
that.
when I mentioned flying mounts, I said that was something that was not in the original game that has changed it significantly. There's all these like you go around Legion, it feels like such an atmospheric experience, and it's great. They're harkening back to some of those design choices that I think people were hungering for from vanilla, but with all this new added features. So I would say to you, if you're one of those players who's hankering
There's
for
a ton of
vanilla
people in the comments saying, World PvP was not that fun for them because anytime you'd resurrect, you'd get killed, and it's just you can never get anything done.
And that's a totally valid experience. I'm not invalidating that. I'm saying that they took it in a direction that is now they have disallowed my experience and they have chosen that side, which is fine. That's a design decision. But to say that there was no redeeming qualities of vanilla World of
I
Warcraft.
have not at once said there was no redeeming quality.
Yeah, I guess you're just saying it's not as fun as it.
And it doesn't. I absolutely don't think Blizzard should devote resources into maintaining the
Sure,
classic
that's
server.
fine. But what you were saying was
It's not as fun as you remember. Absolutely.
not as fun as you remember. You, that's the key word.
No, in general, it's just not.
How can you say it's not as fun as I remember? How that's a subjective thing. You see what I'm saying?
It absolutely is. You're minimizing the grindy stuff that was terrible, and you're maximizing the stuff you're seeing through the nostalgic lenses of your rose-tinted glasses.
That's like you were saying. You were speaking for me. You were speaking for my experiences and what I enjoyed out of the game at the time.
I'm telling you, you're minimizing the terrible grindy stuff. Grouping up 40 people.
Sure.
Hoping they would all be there. Everyone bring your potions. Everyone arrive at the same time. Let's move out. That's an hour, 2 hour process that just was not fun.
I don't think you're understanding my side of the argument, and that I'm not saying so definitively that it was great. I'm not. I'm saying there are crappy parts to it, but I think
all I'm saying is that through the nostalgic glasses you're wearing, you are minimizing the terrible things.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right, but I'm not doing that. I think there are parts of it that weren't that great. Anyway, we should move on from this discussion because, clearly we're just at an impasse where neither of us are listening to each other's arguments.
There's people in here that are agreeing back and forth with either of us.
Look, there are clearly parts of vanilla World of Warcraft that are now in the game so looking for raid, that's another thing that I don't necessarily agree with, is great in the game. I think it's taken the raid content and all these cool mechanics and kind of homogenized it. There are mechanicless fights, you just see the content, it's a really lackluster experience, and then you go into normal raid and it's awesome, right? And also, there's a reason why we're not going to be able to...
Aren't those both options there for you, though? If you want to do a normal raid, you get a guild, you form the group, and you can do it. And if you want to just do looking for raid, you can go do that. No one's forcing you to do that.
If you are trying to stay competitive with raid content, you need to be doing your looking for raid lock item.
But if you want to do the actual normal content, the option is there. Yes or no?
I mean, but it's like saying...
Yes or no?
Yeah, but if you decide, okay, I'm not going to be competitive and I'm not going to keep up with all these other people who are suffering through this content just to get gear. You know what I mean? But there are now these Mythic Plus dungeons, which
but
is something
isn't that
I'm
the choice
really
you have to make?
looking forward to.
If you want to put that time into it? If you want to be competitive, you have to put the time in. Why should you be able to be competitive without putting that time in?
So, right, there's a path from hitting level cap to being raid worthy, right?
Yeah.
Where you're getting gear. And they put this looking for raid system in that is now taking my whole experience of that fun raid that I would experience for the first time in normal and figuring out all these cool mechanics.
But you made the choice to use looking for raid.
Right, because I need to stay competitive, because I need to put the time in, so I can do the normal content.
Yeah, but can't you just do the normal content with a guild without doing the looking for raid?
No. Because you need to do your looking for raid stuff to stay competitive. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean by stay competitive? By
To get gear.
To have the gear. So
Right.
you're unable to do the guild stuff without the looking for raid.
But now there are these Mythic Plus dungeons, which you may be able to circumvent all of that, and that's something I'm really excited for. But basically, what my whole argument is that there are design choices in Legion that harken back to the good parts of vanilla. So I do think, like, yeah, vanilla servers are cool, whatever. There's a reason I'm playing this right now, as opposed to going on a vanilla server.
I think my point that I was making is that people that look back minimize the bad parts of vanilla, and they're like, oh, all this stuff was great, but like there was a ton of just absolutely terrible crap.
Sure, there are some people who do that. I don't think I'm one of those people. Like, I think that clearly there's something to be said. I mean, the parts of vanilla that I like, that I've been saying I liked for a long time, are now coming into the game, so clearly there's some validity to that.
What parts are they?
The Mythic Plus dungeons are harkening back to a non-looking for raid capacity. You have to organically make those groups. All of these new zones disallow flying mounts and force you to interact with topography, with the quests, with the mobs, with other players.
So then what's the argument for the vanilla server if they're bringing all the stuff you like back?
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you're not understanding my argument at all. Is that you're saying that everything that I liked about vanilla isn't valid, and yet it's in the game, right? You just aren't. Like, we're agreeing on a lot of this stuff, whether you realize it or not.
You're imagining my argument. I'm saying the stuff that is bad is getting minimized in people's nostalgic lenses. Like that. Like I've said that phrase over and over again. They're minimizing the really bad stuff. I didn't say the good stuff wasn't good. I'm saying the bad stuff was really bad in vanilla, really bad. Like paying 100 gold to respec. Like that was great. That's super great. How much does it cost to respec now? Nothing.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
Like,
No,
there's
awesome.
all sorts of really, really bad things in vanilla, but there's people that make this definitive argument that we have, like, you've met the guys I play with, like, several of them are like, vanilla is the best WoW has ever been, and that is...
Oh, I totally don't agree with that.
Yeah, but it's absolutely wrong.
Right.
Like, it's so wrong, it's comical. I think if the certain parts, like raiding, there were, certain expansions that were better than others. PvP, I think, or at least arena-wise, Lich King was the best. And when it comes to arena, I don't know what you would consider the best raiding period.
Warlords is really good, but like
I didn't raid in Warlords.
So I'm trying to have some validity for the people who played Nostalrius, and here are the reasons why I think they played. I think because there was flying mounts again in Warlords of Draenor, you could no longer PvP, and there was biggest part is that there was a 14-month gap of content, which I'd like to point out in Warlords. So 14 months of no content in Warlords. However, I'd like to point out that was because they were trying to hit this yearly expansion thing, which they're no longer trying to do. So the promise with Legion is that there is going to be better support, more frequent support, and I'm really excited about that. So I think
someone said it's the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object.
Yeah, pretty much. But the irony is we're agreeing on a lot of this stuff.
I know, you're just mishearing me because you're a druid.
Well, you're mishearing me.
No, you're a druid. You got too
I think
many.
we're mishearing each
other. You got too
other.
many flowers in your ears. We got a tweet at us from Chastity Vicencio.
Sure.
Said the best thing about this Wild Legion IGN plays live stream on IGN right now is watching Duggan and Kyle bicker with each other.
It's funny because when we play together, we always just have a really good time.
Yeah, well, it's because I think a sign of when you have a good friendship with someone is when you can argue.
Yes.
Like, I don't argue with people I don't like. You know what I mean?
Sure.
If I don't like you and
You just go,
oh,
okay.
cool, yeah, see ya. You're not
Cool,
very.
whatever.
I don't want to deal with it. But no, I don't want to get back into that.
No, I think we formed a consensus over the course of however long that was.
It's true. Like the good stuff from vanilla, they're gonna bring back. You raise a good point.
Sure.
And the bad stuff was really bad.
Sure.
And it's how old is this game? 12 years old?
Yeah, dude.
2016.
It's
12
old.
years old. Yeah.
And man, it is aged impossibly well. Like, look at this.
People are like, and I really don't like the people that say like, why is it not free to play? Like, it can be free to play if you want to grind the gold out. Like, you don't have to.
It can
pay
be
money.
free to play.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's an argument to be had for a more than year span of people paying $15 a month with no content. I think that
Agreed.
is unacceptable.
Agreed. Absolutely. Well, you and I, like, we're pretty big Blizzard fanboys, but we come down hard on Blizzard for a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's
like
funny.
I don't think there are I have not met two bigger Blizzard fanboys than you and I, but, you know, the huge gap of rating content,
Sure.
the huge mess up on
Sure.
the Summer Games loot boxes.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
my God.
And that's like
That's infuriating.
I think it's because we place so much faith in this awesome developer.
Yeah.
And when they kind of step out of line for whatever reason, like, you just got to come down hard on them because they can't just be. You can't just say yes. This is all perfect. This is all great. Because then it'll never improve. And man, I think WoW's in a great spot right now. I mean, granted, this is the start of an expansion, but they've already announced 7.1 Karazhan. That's already coming.
I love Karazhan. That might be my favorite raid.
Sure.
I'm torn. Yeah, I like Karazhan. I liked Hyjal, even though that was pretty grindy. I don't think it was. I just thought it was a cool concept.
Yeah.
What else? Ice Crown was really cool.
Ice Crown was great.
Ice Crown was really
The raiding
good.
content,
Ulduar.
they haven't had a bad raid in a long time. All the raids in Mist were pretty good, despite not a lot of people playing that. All the raids in Warlords were very good. The problems with Warlords was just that huge gap of content. That was really it.
I mean, 14 months,
and
right?
some PvP stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a huge time. That's an inexcusable amount of time where, like, I mean, I obviously was inactive, and I think that you must really, really love this game or have found a repeatable cycle to be paying $15 a month. Because look at what $15 gets you in today's gaming ecosystem. You know, it's big content DLCs for games that are coming out. And that was always the promise of me. You know, people are like, why do you pay $15 a month for World of Warcraft? This was 2008. It's like, because it's consistently coming out with content and basically continuously supporting this content of this game that is just ever growing. And that is the core belief behind that, which I think is cool.
But then on the other end of the paying $15 a month, I would rather pay $15 a month for World of Warcraft than drop $60 on a game that's going to be disappointing.
Sure. Yeah, that's a very valid argument.
Yeah, like, I've spent so much money on World of Warcraft over the entirety of the time I've played the game, but I don't regret a single dollar compared to the time I've got played. Just on my Paladin alone, you know, like, I spent a lot of my life on that character, and I no regrets at all. I've got friendships I still have to this day.
That's awesome. And that's the thing about MMOs that I miss the most. And as a genre, like, this is it, man. This is like the last bastion of the MMO. The MMO is kind of trickling into other games like Destiny, the progression system, some of the social structures, and that's really cool. I think that's a step forward. But I think for the future of MMOs, they kind of need to take a step back from copying the World of Warcrafts, the EverQuests, and just creating that experience and figure out another unique, massively multiplayer experience. There's a lot out there that could be done.
I'm reading a comment from this is from Facebook. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up some comments.
Sure.
Discuss what they're saying. Christopher Smith says, WoW is in a horrible spot. Pushed all the hardcore players away. The game is easy now. No more grinds, which made the game fun. Grinds do not make the game fun.
I totally agree with you on that.
Grinds
are not the fun
not
part of the game.
make the game fun. To get access to the hardcore content, it shouldn't be a war of attrition. You shouldn't be like, all right, I got to put in this 130 hours into grinding this rep.
Let me tell you the sole reason why grinds exists. Because they need to pad out the content so you're playing for a long period of time because you need to pay $15 a month. So if something takes
grinds
you one
are
day...
not fun, man.
Grinds are not fun.
You've invalidated your whole point of view if you say grinds are fun and that's what keeps the
I'll tell you what's
players
fun.
around.
Challenging mechanics.
Yes.
Team play. Those are the things I like.
The
and those are
Thaddeus
things...
fight from Naxxramas said that was challenging mechanics. Things like that. Like, it should not be a grind. It should not be like, hey, he who puts in the most time of his life,
who has the least life,
gets to get the best rewards. No way, man.
Sure.
I also like the leveling of the playing field in PvP.
In PvP, I think that's great. I like the whole idea of this new honor system.
The prestiging
so far,
giving you cosmetic awards.
Despite our vanilla argument, in case you can't tell at home, both Kyle and I are super into what this expansion is doing.
Yeah.
What it means for the game.
Yeah.
And time will tell, but so far all the signs are looking really good that this is going to be the best expansion in a very long time. They've gone back to every single class. They've relooked at the core fantasy, and they've pruned abilities. Some classes got the short end of the stick, but a lot
Who
of
do you
them
think
are
got the
playing.
short end of the stick?
I would actually say Hunter.
Really?
I think the Hunter rotation. Though the people who play Hunters love them.
They got a melee spec,
Yeah.
which has always been like the joke, a melee hunter.
Yeah. it's funny. It's for every spec that you think isn't that great, there's somebody who loves it. So yeah,
I mean, what does that have to say about it?
Yeah.
There's a big debate in the Twitch chat about the private servers.
Yeah, as I imagine there would be. So here's what I would say. I would say that if you haven't experienced, like, basically, if you were saying vanilla offers experiences that you can no longer get in World of Warcraft, like X, Y, and Z, and you haven't played World of Warcraft and done high-end raiding, done PvP, done rated battlegrounds, done all this stuff, then your argument has some sense of invalidity. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I'm sorry, I was reading comments. I'm sorry.
I'm
You
just
sound like you had
basically
a great point.
basically, if you haven't played the game and gotten and experienced a lot of the content recently,
Yeah.
then I don't think you necessarily have the right to say that vanilla is better than the current game.
Yeah.
But if you were like, if you have done all that and you've come to an objective consensus that or an objective decision that you feel that vanilla was valid because of X, Y, and Z, then yeah, I think that point is totally valid.
I just don't think the argument for a private server is there. You know, I know the player base is there. I know, I know the desire for people to play are there, and they would have an audience. But the fact is, it's not a public property.
Love these, by the way.
Yeah, this is the
real
world
quick
boss,
aside.
right?
Yeah, so this is something that happened in Draenor, and basically the idea with these rare spawns now, they used to just be rare spawns that would give you these cool items that were super rare and you never saw. Now everybody sees them, but you only get to loot them once. So you kill them, and you get their loot. It's awesome. It's like this emergent thing. See how all these players are coming together to defeat this boss that might have difficult mechanics? This is what an MMO for me is all
It's
about.
really taking a lot out of you mechanics-wise with your one-handed engage.
Well, this is level 101 content.
I know, I'm just messing.
But yeah, like this is an emergent experience that I think is one of the best parts of World of Warcraft right now, where you're just doing your thing, and then it's like, oh, right, I'm playing an MMO. There are all these people around. We're all going to do this thing together that we couldn't accomplish by ourselves. Or probably could, because it's really easy. But once you start getting like into the later stuff, like Suramar, that becomes very difficult. Also, I'm a walrus. Did you know that?
Yeah, I do. When I found out they had water form, I got a Druid.
Yep.
Ooh, the water.
They get everything. Look at this. I have 4 specs.
Yeah, I got such a grudge against Druids.
I love their aesthetics. I love their mechanics.
They look really good now.
Yep.
I will agree with you in the fact that there was very little community aspect to the game.
Yeah, and okay, so like that super validates the whole vanilla argument in the context of that 14-month span of a lack of content and you just logging in to go on your garrison every day. Man, that was the worst WoW it's ever been.
Garrisons were so bad. That was not fun.
It's not fun.
That's not fun.
It's something I could do on Facebook.
I
hate to be that guy,
yeah,
but
it's
like
Farmville, yeah.
that's not why I play MMOs.
I'm a little worried with the class halls having order resources that they might turn into just a garrison mechanic. But
a lot of people are, and that seems like a very valid argument. I think from what I've seen, those missions are sending you out into the world to get this artifact power. And look, the garrison stuff is only a problem in the context of a lack of content.
Yes.
If there's other stuff to do and the garrison is like an afterthought, fine. But if that is a way to pad out my playtime, I disagree with it.
I forgot what I was saying. I was making a really great point. And
Druids.
No, Druids just bother me because
because all of your experience and
in arena.
You're like a hardened vet.
Yeah.
Who just can't
ever come to terms with. I would. Oh
right.
God. I did. You know how I played. I did a lot of like hardcore arena battleground stuff, and it just Cyclone. The ability Cyclone alone has made me hate Druids.
Sure. Yeah.
You should not have a crowd control effect that does not break on damage, that stops people from healing, and can be insta-cast if you have the proc.
Yeah, it's brutal. But check it out. It's here.
I just want to flip off this
It is a... So the cool thing about this, and not that any optimal players will do this, but the reason why every Druid will not have Cyclone in PvP, even though it's a talent, is because there's this prestige system. So when you hit max, well actually, you unlock Cyclone pretty early, so never mind. It's only level 10. So a lot of Druids will have Cyclone.
I hate it.
Yeah, I think that's fun. I have always...
It should break on damage. It can do everything else. You can get instant cast.
Sure.
Everything else, but it should absolutely break on damage.
I've always gravitated more towards PvE content because I feel that is the experience, and you feel very strongly about PvP, but that is the experience in World of Warcraft that I think it offers that no other game offers, is the 10+, 20+, even 5-man dungeon content, and raid content, and stuff like that. And those mechanics and that cooperation against a puzzle fight is just so cool. And you really like the PvP.
Yeah,
I'm into the PvP because it's really fun. I just not like that's not my things.
Yeah. For me, arena. Okay, so to give you guys background, I've done, I did StarCraft 2. I did a lot of StarCraft 2. I've done League of Legends. I've done Overwatch. I've done, you name almost any competitive, Smite, all these things, fighting games, Mortal Kombat, all this. Like I've got tons of whatever street cred, and and I still think top tier World of Warcraft arena is the ultimate player versus player experience. And that's between Call of Duty, Halo, Smite, Overwatch, StarCraft, League of Legends. I can go through all of them.
See, I would say that I much prefer a more concise, less, dare I say, convoluted PvP game like Overwatch, like League of Legends, where for PvP, do the classes really need to have 24 abilities, or is 5, if they're very well designed abilities, gonna be okay? And I think Overwatch is like just a superb PvP experience. I think that's super top tier for me. But
I'm in the same boat. I think it's really good, and
Yep.
I'm still saying top tier World of Warcraft arena. Like nothing is as satisfying as that. You're going tooth and nail against this other team who is also very, 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 very good, and then you finally clinch the victory.
Sure, and I can understand why that is. Like there's you're demonstrating a complete mastery of putting in all this skill.
2v2s, 3v3s. Yeah, 2v2s, 3v3s. The one thing I wish they would add is a little bit more. I'm totally blanking. Skill-based, skill shot. I feel like
I think that may have been a server thing before, but now I think they probably have there's more in there.
There's a couple of skill shot abilities now, just not as you would think of them in like League of Legends.
I think an isometric viewpoint lends itself really well to the skill shots.
Yes.
And a shooter does. Yeah. I feel like this kind of MMO, maybe there will be a skill that'll come along that'll really sell me on the whole idea of like skill shots in World of Warcraft. But
I'm just looking at some comments. Potato King wants to know why you are super transparent.
Me? Oh, here. I thought you were just talking about my personality. It's like, well, I just call it how I see it. That's my whole thing. So I'm super transparent because I took this talent, called Blessing of the Ancients, where I get either Blessing of Elune or Blessing of Anshe. And I can actually switch over to that one. This one I don't even know why there's a secondary one, because it doesn't give you Astral Power out of combat. So this one gives me Astral Power, which is my main resource for Boomkin. I use mana to do stuff like healing. But the fastest generation just comes from this. Now, what's really cool is they've definitely determined that this is the fastest generation. So the other things they've given me in that tier are stuff like increased damage with a little bit of generation, or this Astral Communion, which I actually think is better for PvP. So this is or if you were just maybe even world questing, this is going to instantly give you 75, which, as were this one, even though it's faster than gradual, over the course of 5 minutes, you would end up getting more Astral Power in total than if you took this one. But this one gives you to you instantly, so you can just unload very fast.
Front load.
Right. Yeah.
So one sounds like it's more for long raid fights, and one sounds like it's more for solo.
Sure, but the argument could totally be made that for battlegrounds, this might be the superior choice. Just because if you're casting and it's just about your damage output, and you're casting for the entirety, the 20 minutes of the battleground. Well, there's
surprise!
There's top tier rated battleground players who I'm sure will either go with one of us, and one of us will be correct on that one.
Well, I don't think statistics like total damage output in a battleground has little to do with. It shouldn't matter versus whether you win or not. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I think it totally does. It definitely comes down to that. Strategy is very important.
I've had people that are like, "Oh, my damage and kills are super high," but it's like, yeah, you fought in mid all along and you didn't capture a single flag or return one.
But I'm talking about teams who, top tier competitive teams who have their strategy on lockdown.
But that's not accessible for the average player. That's not what we should be balancing.
Sure. But again, there's an argument to be made for this one for PvP at the very least.
I don't even know what you're pointing at.
Blessing of the Ancients.
Let me read it.
There's an argument to be made for. This is basically going to give you, it's increasing your resource generation by 25%, as with this one,
you front load.
On a 1 minute cooldown, you front load a bunch of Astral Power. There's arguments to be made for both. One will eventually become optimal.
For the front loading one, and immediately when I look at it, I say that's the one that people will use in
certainly
arenas.
Yeah. I think arenas, it would be difficult to make an argument for the other one, but
Yeah, well,
I think the battlegrounds, it's a little bit longer.
I think I usually when I think of player versus player, I think of arena-based stuff. That's just usually that's the better PvP experience in my mind.
That's cool. I think RPGs just battlegrounds in general are an experience that again not a lot of other games are offering.
Yeah, no, rated battlegrounds are freaking fun.
How do I get up here?
I just feel like if you can front load 75 damage, 75 astral power,
yeah,
then you're gonna get a CC chain where it's like, okay, well now we boom blow them up, and then you pop that.
Sure, and burst is very important as opposed to like.
Well, actually, we don't know in this expansion.
Yeah, we'll find out.
It could be that burst is not the way to go.
And that's kind of the whole design philosophy. The overarching design philosophy with these talent choices is less to be like, okay, pick the optimal one. It's more like, which one fits your playstyle and which one is situationally relevant, which I think is cool. I like that because I think that's, again, I mean, if we go back to vanilla and talk about something that wasn't fun there, that talent system sucked. You know.
Say that again.
The talent system in vanilla sucked.
Oh, it was
like
atrocious.
You just pick these.
Minutia.
Why do I pick this? Because
it's minute things that absolutely have no effect, and there was clearly one option. There was cookie cutter for every build.
Sure.
Like, yep, you nailed it.
Even if there do end up being like optimal builds for stuff, which there inevitably will be, at least they're making an effort to try and give you some semblance of choice here.
I think that there might not be that. And I'm not disagreeing. I'm just meaning like the way it was in the past with the cookie cutter build, like between your weapon and your honor talents and your class talents. Like I think there's going to be a lot of variation.
Really screwed the pooch here.
You really did mess up.
This
is riveting streaming gameplay.
Right. This is some classic.
This is classic WoW.
Classic.
Vanilla WoW is back.
Oh man, how am I gonna go about this?
This is so fun. Let's get a private server of this.
There's actually I am kind of having a good time.
It is kind of entertaining. I really want you to
there's like a glyph I can take that would allow me to flap my wings as a boomkin and fall down slowly.
You're
It
lying.
looks so fun. No, it's true.
Oh, I thought you were just saying it just to make me mad.
It's so true. It's awesome.
I think boomkins look dumb. Giant space laser chicken.
Sure, that's fine. I like them.
They're a fun class to play. I think I played the Resto. Oh, Resto is fun. Resto is a lot of
fun. Resto is cool.
I
don't know how I feel about HOTS. Heals are one of those things that I want very immediately.
You don't like heals over time?
They're whatever. I feel like it's more difficult for me to see my impact than something like a priest. But then again, I'm not that big of a healer player.
I love healers. Tanks and healers were usually what I played.
What?
Oh, you gotta kill that guy that was down there. There was a dude down there that they were fighting. You gotta get his head.
Whoopsies. I wonder if I tagged him. I don't think I did.
What was I saying? Oh, druids. Yeah, the healing druids are really fun. Like, it's ironically burst is what it's all about in PvP, but hot heals were
pretty good.
Were on point. Yep, and it allowed the druid to be able to CC all that stuff.
So the thing I really like about healers this expansion, and actually this is the selling point for me for Druid, in addition to all the other stuff I like. Check this out. Here we are talking about this choices. Here is the ultimate choice for the Druid tier at level 45, and no other class gets this. You get to choose an affinity with one of the other 3 specs. So basically, I right now am I am Boomkin / Resto.
Yeah.
I could be Boomkin / Guardian and get the majority of their rotation. But like, you know, on my Feral, since I kind of want to PvP with that character.
You're gonna PvP Feral?
Oh, definitely.
I'm excited.
I feel like Boomkin, while I'm sure viable in PvP, I feel like Feral would be way more fun. So yeah, on my Feral, I'm taking Resto just because the self heal is insane. It's insanely good. But if I wanted more survivability in terms of mitigation, I could take Guardian. Or I could take Boomkin if I felt like I wanted some range damage, but you kind of have to be out of the form. But again, this is going back to the idea with Legion that it's revisiting the class fantasy. And the class fantasy with Druids is shapeshift. It's going from one to the other, so if I take a little bit of damage here, let me heal up. I'm going to go out of that shape. I'm going to go back into Boomkin. Pop some cooldowns, get some burst on this guy. Maybe I'll pop a good cooldown. Some moons flying in here.
Here goes, here goes.
That's up, boom!
Mage Meteor.
Yeah, that's dope.
Frost, whatever it is.
I have to say one thing I didn't think that I was going to be so into, but I am super into, are the artifact weapon abilities. I thought they were going to be kind of like, They are like, it's almost equivalent.
What is your Boomkin one? Is it the full moon, half moon?
Yeah.
I really like Wake of Ashes.
It's almost like your ultimate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Oh, man.
It's a big set piece move it's really just awesome. They did a wonderful job.
Someone said this looks like,
rare spawn up here. I want to kill it.
Someone said this looks like the Howling Fjord.
It does.
Yeah, it does. I think it's supposed to be because there's Raikou here as well. It's supposed to look like it.
Wow. He's got a little bit of HP. Also, one thing that I just have to talk about that is superb, that is just something that...
Can you tilt your camera so we can see the rest of the landscape?
Something that... Here, I'll do one better. Something that... Vanilla World of Warcraft, this is a clear improvement amongst the other like enormity of improvements that they've made. But like the phasing, the multiplayer phasing for these emergent encounters, as evidenced by the Legion invasions, is so on point.
Would you call it sharding?
Phasing.
Oh no, that was not sharting.
Yes.
That was Eric Sapp and I were talking. He called it. Oh, there's a pet. Oh,
there's a pet. I have not.
I don't play the World of Warcraft. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing. Like, we don't appreciate that because we don't do it, but people really like the pet method.
Here's another thing I love about Boomkin is I can spend my astral power.
Oh, you might die.
No, I'm good.
No, you're a druid.
Oh, no. I still might die.
Oh!
I'm dead.
Oh, you died.
Hey, I'm a Boomkin, dude. I'm not a feral. Boomkins die. Also,
that makes me so happy.
Why would that make you happy?
Because I hate druids. I hate druids.
But
what's going on? Am I getting damaged? Turn into a tank.
That just goes to show you, like, they're not.
That makes me happy. Yeah, I'm happy in the fact that you guys are balanced.
I pulled 5 mobs.
And you could have travel formed out if you really wanted.
Also, I'm not on my home setup because there's 24 buttons. And look, this mouse has 2.
Rookie.
Sure, excuses.
I'm just messing with you. It just means it's balanced. Like in the past, it's what's happening? I'm dying. Druid bear form, frenzied regeneration.
So
travel form.
feral is nigh impossible to kill unless you burst it down with more than one person.
I hate feral druids.
The damage.
They're so good.
So the part of the rotation is hitting this healing touch, which you proc for free every time you do a full point finisher.
Isn't it any nature spell? It doesn't have to be healing.
It's either that, Entangling Roots, or
Cyclone,
or Rebirth. I don't know if Cyclone is
Rebirth.
Rebirth.
So you could battle res someone if you wanted.
Yeah, but like, it's already free and instant, so I'm not really sure. I guess you can just cast it in cat form. But
interesting.
Let's not do that again. But what's cool about that?
I take pleasure in your death.
Is that Healing Touch increases your next 2. It's part of your core rotation because it increases your next 2 damaging abilities. Not again. Please, not again. Alright, we're going to pop some cooldowns here. Oh, God! I got to travel form out. We got to get the hell out of here, man!
I'm never going to let you live this down.
Nah, I'm going to travel form out. Go away, wolves! Why are there so many of you?
Why is there fire coming out from your...
Because I popped the cooldown. Oh, I got dazed. Here's what we do now.
I think you lost.
Yeah, I'm good. One thing that I really like, actually, despite me dying, is like there are just roaming packs of lots of mobs that you cannot kill unless you pop a ton of cooldowns in this, which was not present in Warlords. You could just run into a huge pack of dudes and you'd be fine. Let's figure out where we're going. I'm gonna get back down here.
The music, that's something we should talk about as well. Turn your music on when you play this game.
Yeah, certainly for the first level up. At the very least.
Great, man.
It's very good.
People are saying Death Knights would have survived that.
Death Knights would have survived that. To be fair, Feral would have survived that.
Feral would have.
Boomkin is
fragile. Glass cannon.
Yeah, they are. They have a lot of survivability relative to other casters, but I think they're the most. They are certainly the most fragile Druid spec.
Oh yeah, glass cannon by complete definition.
The cool thing that like totally. Is there a cave here? It may be because I'm talking and not focusing on this, but so far this zone is inferior to the other one that I did. Which seems to
I think it's just because it's all mountain-faced and you're getting confused going up.
Yeah, like where is the optimal route to get up to here? Am I supposed to go on a road that is... No, I don't think this is the way. I think it's got to be down here.
It's above you.
It is above me, but I think there's a road down here that leads up, maybe? Nope, this looks like it goes down.
How many IGN employees does it take to navigate this map? Find out more at 2. Yeah, we've still got an hour and 4 minutes of this,
We do
ladies and gentlemen. Once again, if you have any questions, you can tweet at us with the hashtag IGNPlaysLive. You can comment in YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, on IGN.com, and we will read them.
I got a grudge to settle with wolves.
Yeah.
So
YouTube is going a mile a minute, and they're just saying memes and asking people to say our names, so that will be hard. But we will try.
Twitch and Twitter are the real big ones that we...
Yep, and Facebook. But I'm biased because I run that whole thing.
Yes, you give Facebook more attention than I do when I'm running the social stuff on here.
Stephen Quas says, can tell they don't play normally much. 0 mods, no custom UI. Or, bear with us here, we're playing at work and not at our home stations.
Yep. The thing that people do
I'm not a big fan of all the mods. Like, they're too cluttery most of the time.
Actually, there's some that are very minimalistic that I'm into. But,
I used to do all the UI mods, but since I play at work, at home, at different places, the only thing I have that I bring everywhere is my binding.
Believe it or not, there are some people who play this game in a hardcore capacity that don't have UI mods installed.
No, but if you play with a UI mod, it's clearly the only superior one. There's no recount on this computer.
Yeah, I didn't install it. I can download it. Anyway, yeah, the thing that I've noticed about working at IGN is whenever you mess up, doesn't matter how little, people just assume the absolute worst thing.
Oh,
like
you talking about people on the internet?
So I did this Overwatch article that Forbes ended up featuring about the Summer Games. Thanks. The Summer Games, did a ton of research on it, just really went all out, and I misused the word craft. Instead of saying unlock, because in Hearthstone it's called crafting a card, and it's
clearly that means you are subhuman. You're terrible at the game.
on the World of Warcraft forums, they were like, "Hey, did you guys see this IGN article? It's actually pretty great. It's about like they're kind of talking about what we've been talking about with this." And the first comment was like, "He said craft. He obviously did absolutely no research. This is what they do. They just do it for clicks." And I've never been more frustrated in my entire life.
Yeah, it's like because you're trying to make an argument for the player base.
But that's classic poor debate tactics. I took speech and debate. Is you invalidate your opponent's argument not by something related to their argument, but by a peripheral thing, just is like a stopgap.
Well, it's also the whole like, oh look, I can point out how bad you are. It makes me feel better about myself. And
Sure. Not gonna fight that without my.
Fight him.
Not gonna fight that guy without my setup.
Fight him.
Nope.
I thought you said druids were the best dueling class in the world.
I will give you your paladin if you can use these 4 buttons. Oh wait, you only have 3 buttons, so you don't have to like.
No, I have 5. You know that.
You don't have to. It increases every time I talk to you.
You're absolutely wrong saying only 3 buttons.
No, I know. There's more than that. There's a lot of situational stuff, but I like.
I'm really liking the state of Ret Pallies right now.
That's cool. Good for you.
Good for you. I think it's really fun.
You however cannot say that Ret Pallies have more buttons than druids, because they just don't.
You get a spec and a half.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's like saying you cannot say motorcycles have more tires than cars.
Yeah, right.
Because it's a spec and a half.
If
more
like having
buttons
more tires
do not mean better.
No, that doesn't mean better.
That does not
mean better. But it does mean harder to play, especially when you're not.
Harder to play does not mean better.
I know. Yeah. But that's why I didn't fight that guy. And then you gave me crap about it because you're on your easy mode paladin.
It's not easy mode.
I think it's.
What's easier, having to put out damage with smart maneuverability, or just being able to do everything? Oh, what's going on? I'm dying. Let me go tank for him.
You still have to do everything. It's not like doing everything is easy.
Let me go tank for him. Let me just heal myself.
Oh, those are all skills.
I can run away.
That you have to click.
Oh no!
So you're
saying, got instant cast.
So you're saying because you lack situational abilities, it makes your class harder?
So you're saying because your class gets every ability, your class is easier and better?
No. It's harder to play.
Nah, you're
because
crazy.
It's harder. The core rotation has more buttons, more
crazy.
Situational abilities. There's more buttons to hit. It's a
You're
more difficult class to play.
You are out of your mind. Let's just agree that I know you agree with me on this. That paladins are better in druid side.
Have you learned nothing?
All right, guys. I've got an hour left until I have to make. James Duggan's so mad at me, he hits me with the table.
It is a plastic table, so either one of us could easily pick it up at some point.
It's plastic? This is wooden, isn't it?
Oh, did they change it?
Yeah, they changed the table.
This would hurt.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Spymaster Schwader.
Oh, I didn't expect.
Does he have Druid shoulders on?
He does. See, he wants to be like me, but he can't. Oh, I'm getting rogued. Look at this guy. Oh, come on, bro. Let me hit you. I will say the boomkin rotation is relatively easy. I will concede that much. It is. It is.
But you got more buttons.
Yeah, in total, like the feral spec is definitely harder though.
Feral, I think.
Look, I'm gonna say the boomkin spec is easy. I also think Rep Paladin is easy to play. That doesn't mean that
easy to play.
Easy to do the basic rotation. That's all I'm saying. Like that doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy to master. It's just easier to do your basic rotation.
What was the glittering memento?
This gives me artifact power, which I'm actually not going to use because I am maining feral, so I'm saving artifact power for my other spec. But that's what the second experience bar is up here, and that's this whole thing. Which there's only one here, but on my main.
You're not going to put a point into it? You have 100.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Whoopsies. I think I already have that.
No, you don't. Oh, you do.
I do. Yeah,
oh, it looks empty because it's the it's a black circle with the blue. I was like, it's empty. What are you doing?
It's the inner part of this.
Oh, okay.
So it's like it's just like a poor UI thing.
I thought it was empty. I was like, what's happening? Sorry guys, I'm gonna Naomi Kyle is in Twitch chat right now, it looks like. Let me see. Is that really her? Or...
Whoa, what is this? What is going on here? Oh, look at this! Check this out. There's an enamored boomkin, and this other boomkin that's also a mob is backing away from it. I've never seen a mob backpedal before. This is weird.
It would be a boomkin.
Well, fair enough.
Just let's see. Is this the real Naomi Kyle talking in Twitch? It is! Alright. Naomi, you have missed about an hour of us bickering back and forth with each other.
Pretty good. Kyle's been trying to defend his overly simplistic class, saying it's on hard.
You literally just said druids were easy.
I said balanced druids.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought all druids were easy. I would say the most complex druid is feral.
Yeah.
And then I would say a good resto druid, player versus player wise.
I agree. That being said, I haven't done a ton of Guardian, but I wouldn't imagine it would be that much more difficult. I imagine Resto would definitely be harder, I think.
In PvP?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh dude, and you are so effective. A good PvP Resto Druid is a nightmare. It's like, it's as frustrating as I would say like a good Ana.
What do you think the best, as an arena player, what do you think the best hybrid specialization is for Resto? You can either go Boomkin form, and get some spell casting in if you don't need to heal, or you could go like Guardian Tank, or do you think Feral?
So right now, it just off of what I know right now, I don't know the full intricacies of the new stuff. I would most likely say Resto Tank, given if you get Bash like you do with the Tank Druid, as well as it'll give you survivability if you get targeted.
Bash is actually just a different skill now. You just get it here.
Mighty Bash. Okay.
Yeah. That's.
But the survivability.
So you're saying like people are gonna go all in on you in arena and being able to go tank spec and frenzy regen and Iron Fur there is gonna be better.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's totally valid.
Unless you're going for your.
Excuse me.
But if you were gonna go for a DPS, if you were gonna go for like a double DPS spec, then I would say you would go Boomkin Resto.
Sure.
Or Feral Resto. Feral. Oh my God, Feral. Is Feral still bleed based?
Yes.
Oh man.
It is a nightmare. That the Claws of Ashamain ability,
dude, they look so rad when you put on the artifact.
I'm really into it. I think Feral is.
I wish. Oh, dude, go up on this peak and look out over at that land over there.
Get some nice cinematic.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
that
looks so
you cannot say that's not cool.
Yeah, it is.
Look at that cool statue.
Nice. Yeah, Stormheim is awesome.
Ooh, what's in there? What's that cave?
Down there? Go explore it?
Yeah, go explore.
All right.
I mean, obviously, we both know that you're gonna die.
No, I'm not.
You tricky trickster. So I'm still debating what I want to. Oh, hello. I really like the Vrykul stuff. Well, I mean, because it's Viking aesthetic.
Yeah, they're really cool. So this whole area is just Druid themed to the end of the earth, so I picked that. But there is this really cool Easter egg right over here. If you saw the movie Witch, which was this cool like indie horror film, there is a goat there on a mountain, a very ominous-looking goat that I was like, is that just a mob that is in a really cinematic-looking location? It's actually an Easter egg to that witch.
That's funny.
It's called Black Phillip, who is the goat who turns out to be not a nice guy.
Not a nice person.
Boomkin here, pop. Oh my god, all this would be happening so much faster.
Yeah, dude, not having your key bindings are...
It's rough. It's brutal. These guys...
I really think you should try my way of the modifiers on your thumb button.
I bought a mouse expressly. I have muscle memorized my mouse, and it's very quick. I would imagine...
You're in trouble, my friend.
Oh, I am!
You're in trouble.
I'm gonna die.
No, you're not. You're
Now I'm gonna die.
No, now you're dying. You're dead for sure.
Get out of here!
Run, 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 run.
These moose torrents.
If you were Night Elf, you could just Shadow Meld and call it good.
Yes. Though I have Flame Shotgun, so I would have to...
Now it's...
Cool, I just wanted to leash that guy. We'll go back to Druid form here. It's like, I have all these intentions, but I just have to search for my bar.
Yeah.
It's like going back to vanilla for a second.
Naomi Kyle's comments all got deleted. What the heck? She got timed out.
Is she trolling?
Yeah, she was trolling. That is hilarious.
Check this out. I got a... What is this? What's this toy? Raven Bear disguise. See what this is. Cool. I like it.
What are you doing?
It's a Raven Bear disguise.
Oh, you look like...
All these guys are still... It must be a different faction.
That's what that dude looked like, the Spy Master.
Yeah, that's where I got the toy from. So that's what's cool about rare mobs. They don't always give you just gear. Like sometimes they'll give you toys, sometimes they'll give you pets.
A lot of people are saying positive things about this expansion, like kind of echoing what we're saying. You know?
Yeah.
Really fun questing, zones are fun, voice acting.
The zone design is the thing that has been standing... I mean, there's so many things standing out to me. But immediately getting into the zones, it's just so good.
Adam Kelly in Facebook chat says, from what I've heard, Arcane Mage isn't in a too good of a spot.
It's difficult to comment on that for a number of reasons right now. There's a lot of variables that aren't at play that will be at play at the end of Legion, like legendaries that are altering your stuff, like balance passes that are going to happen for PvP. So there's a guy called Preach Gaming, who I watch videos for WoW content, who's superb. Like, he's very good, and he does a very good job of going through all the specs. And his whole thing is picking a spec that you find fun to play, instead of picking a spec that you think is going to be OP. So, like, I see a lot of people picking Warlocks right now. That's just one patch away from that class no longer being fun.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If you enjoy the playstyle of Warlock, sweet, you're good. But if you're doing it just for, like, a numbers reason, I don't think you're making a great decision.
I am looking at comments right now. Let's see if I can find a good one. Someone's saying not having blessing up is killing your DPS.
Yeah, way to go up. Thanks. It's so true. Thanks, bud.
That was... I'll find the comment again. Sorry, guys. Going through comments. No.
Whoever it was.
Yeah, Alex Gimbal, I think it was.
Thanks, man.
Looking out. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun.
Full moon! Oh, the burst feels so good with this class.
Kanzi Cage says, Duggan, is there a Blizzard game you haven't played?
There's no Blizzard game I haven't played except for, like, Blackthorn and the Lost Vikings, the really early stuff. Yeah. There are Blizzard games that I'm not particularly fond of or don't necessarily enjoy playing.
I know, I've got a couple.
I'm a big, though for the most part, I am totally a Blizzard fanboy.
Oh yeah, me too.
Overwatch, Hearthstone, World of Warcraft.
I don't think
Diablo.
Hearthstone's in a good place. We've argued about this.
But to be fair, you don't play that much.
No, I don't play at the same level as you do. But I am a target audience. They should be.
Sure.
They should be thinking about.
Valid point. Valid point. You were having problems with Cthulhu. You thought it is cheap. Like there.
I just didn't think it was a fun mechanic. Like I understand it can be beaten, but I I just did not think it was a good implementation.
And actually, what that deck is a whole. There's a whole TCG thing called combo decks, and there's a whole debate about whether they're good or bad for the health of the game. And the consensus is generally that they're bad, but low-level combo decks are good because it teaches players about combining cards. But there are so for instance, do you remember the Druid deck that could combo? That could do. Used to be able to soul the forest into Savage Roar.
There's a player you can PvP against.
Yeah, it could. All right, fine. Use Vengeance.
Here it goes.
You can do this. You can do this. You know, open with the full moons. The whole idea with World of PvP is you get the drop on someone like a huge jerk before they even understand what's going on.
Oh.
Right, he's gonna pop a defensive there. I'm just gonna keep her. He's gonna die. See ya.
Woo! Done.
He'll
You
come
did
back.
it.
He'll come back and gag me. But yeah.
Yay! He's right there. You should have popped the flag. You should have
no,
dropped
wait,
the
can
hef-
I can still.
Yay!
I did it, guys.
Yay! You're the best.
I'm a jerk.
You're the best.
I'm a real big jerk.
Oh man.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be really fun to watch when that guy comes back and I'm struggling as hard as possible to find keys on my non-home setup, and I'm just
yeah.
bear form.
Pete Crook on Facebook says, "Man, Boomkin is terrible. Should have rolled Feral." Go ahead.
I did roll Feral. That is my main spec. I think Boomkin's very fun though. I am playing Boomkin specifically because the rotation is easier, and this is not my home setup. So for this stream, I'm playing this, but I am maining Feral, and I've been enjoying it. My goodness.
Every day we get to work, and you'll be like, "Oh man, Boomkin, Feral. Ret powers are so dumb."
And then Kyle's just like,
I love swinging my hammer, and yeah, I love fight for the light.
there you go. I didn't even need to say it. At least we're self-aware, right?
Oh man. Let me see.
So I melee, in all of my raiding experience, I've always been melee. But if I do decide to raid this expansion, I'm going to go ranged. Because they just have it so much easier.
Really?
They just do. I mean, I don't know. It's not that they still have to deal with mechanics. Like, they still have to be skilled players. But melee just gets stomped on by so much stuff. Oh, here we go. It's happening. It's happening. I told you it's happening. So, having played a Vengeance Demon Hunter, I know that maybe this guy is actually just... Man, I'm going to feel so bad if this guy isn't even trying to kill me. He is. He's just going for that. I feel like such a jerk.
Okay, don't kill him then.
I'm not going to.
Just slash sorry at him.
I will. I'm going to slash sorry. Maybe this isn't the same guy.
It is the same guy.
My mistake.
My mistake. So, I was debating,
This is gonna
you're
hit him with
obviously
AoE,
playing...
though.
You're obviously playing Horde.
Yep.
I'm debating what I'm going to play on the Horde side. Maybe Warrior, but you said they're not in a good place.
They're not a good place dueling-wise. And that if that's not important to you, do it. Because their Fury is so fun. Fury is superb. Arms, I actually think Arms got the shaft. But I actually quite like Prot. A lot of people are...
I was thinking of playing a tank, using the
Yeah.
Horde character for PvE and then my Paladin for PvP.
A lot of people, there's a very divisive debate going on about tanks. A lot of reliance has been put on the healer, and there's been a de-emphasis of defensive cooldowns, which a lot of tanks feel has made tanking easier, which it's hard to debate them on that. But the question is it still fun? I say yes. Some people say no.
I understand. Let me see. John Sherlow in Facebook says, "Gotta say, best launch having a ton of fun. Meaning Windwalker Monk, so much fun."
Hey, tell us what you guys are maining, and tell us what your favorite part of... Where is this guy going? He's not evade bugged yet. He's just running away from me. That's so weird. Tell us what you're maining in terms of your class and spec, and what your favorite part about is it since the rework or since you got your artifact weapon.
Where can they tweet at us?
Tweet at IGN with the hashtag IGN Plays. You can also tweet at me or Kyle. I am at Thuggin Duggan. He is at Kyle that Kyle.
Yep.
Please follow us.
Please, I need help.
I made my Twitter so late into the game.
Let me see. I'm looking at Twitch chat. So, let's see. Twitch chat's just a lot of really good discussion going on.
Sweet, sweet.
I did a bunch of Raba the Hut on IGN says I did a bunch of the artifact quests last night at launch. Pretty fun so far.
So I think what happens is the first, maybe it's actually dependent upon the spec. So what happened when I got Feral, I got this sweet, very druidy quest in the Keeper's Grove And then when I decided to pick Boomkin for the second one, it sent me to Karazhan. And there were a bunch of other classes there doing it, so I don't know if that's just where the oddball specs go, that don't have their own quest designed for them. It seemed like kind of a, not to use the word generic, but it was like expressly made to be a more generic questing area to get an artifact. Or maybe it's just if you pick your second one, it sends you there not to give you the same experience over again.
I really liked. I went home and did some of the paladin stuff, and man, it was fun.
The Order Hall looks sick, doesn't it?
Oh god, dude! And then one of the quests was like you lead a charge of the Silver Hand against a bunch of demons, and it was amazing. I was like in there just smashing these guys, and then they were healing me. So cool.
Yeah, you wanted to like contrast that to your Warlords of Draenor experience with the opening.
I don't remember my opening.
You go through the Dark Portal, there's a bunch of Iron Horde guys, and like, if you're not invested in that plot line, which I wasn't, because why would I be? It's like a retcon.
Yeah.
It's so smart to rely on the class fantasy for lore and introducing people into the zone. That is so cool, because I chose this class.
Yeah.
I'm invested in it.
Yeah.
And they know that. So, yeah.
I can't wait to
Big
get...
props so far, for sure.
I mean, yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I've been burned way too many times.
To be like, it's here, guys.
It's great. It's great. God King Skovald.
I cannot kill that guy.
Oh my god.
Do I have to kill that guy?
Look at him. What is he holding? He's holding a statue head? Can you just go close to him? I don't think he's not going to act.
He had a stone. I think we have to kill this guy, actually. I think that's what
Oh, no, there's a quest item.
Oh, it's the stone. I have to talk to this. Maybe I'm becoming friendly with these guys? Maybe not.
That was cool. God King.
Where is this quest?
That's awesome.
So when I talk, I tend to just go on autopilot. And I realize now that there's a quest. Oh, wait. Never mind. Never mind. That's for something else. Oh, here's a guy I could kill. But will I feel good about it?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I will. He has no way to heal, man. He's just a poor defenseless warrior.
And he's fighting a bunch of mobs, too. You are a terrible human.
I am.
I love it. Hurt him. Hurt him. Yay.
That's, like if you roll on a PvP server, that's the risk you run.
He knows.
Hey, when I get ganked, I only complain a little.
Let's have a look. We got no tweets, comment, Twitter. Let's go ahead and...
I think people who haven't played this game don't understand the ancestral grudge that one faction has for the other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What am I doing here? Throw a crab, pot, okay.
Yeah, so this launch was really good, too. There was no server issues.
Just
there was
logistically.
no DDoS attack, or if there was, it was not successful. You know? Just the whole thing. What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out what the hell I have to do here.
Are you supposed to throw it in the pot?
Yeah.
Throw it in the pot.
like... Oh, it's 4. It's bound to 4, that's why. I thought it'd be bound to 1. Okay. This is cool.
Why are you throwing it? Why wouldn't you
why wouldn't I just grab them all? I don't know. These are questions. Look, am I going to hop in this thing?
People are calling you a clicker, but it's because you're not playing on your home setup.
Yes. I mean, I can't stress that enough. If you're just here on the stream, this is not my home setup. I have a mouse with 2 buttons on the side. Not to belittle anyone who has a mouse with 2 buttons on the side.
Oh, that's me. Yeah, well, we differ.
I have no alternative to clicking. I cannot bind all of these with the number of buttons I have.
So the way I do it is thumb button, then shift modifiers for thumb and the second thumb button, and then everything around my movement key is keybound as well. So Q,
cool.
E, R, T, Z, X.
What I will say is once you've established like your convention, it is really hard to change.
Hard to convert. Yeah. So my key binding started with Blackwing layer rating when I was playing a Holy Pally, and decursing was really important. And I had that the mod called, it was like decursive, I think, or it was cursive or something like that.
Yeah.
And it basically automated the decursing, and so I just bound it to my thumb, and then evolved from there. Yep.
It's kind of like playing the guitar a bit, where you develop this muscle memory, and in certain situations you get certain things. And just like playing guitar, it is way harder to relearn than to learn it right the first time. So figure out what the setup that you want to go with and the one that offers you the most potential. I think having a mouse with a enormity of buttons on the side is the way to go, but that's just me. It's definitely personal.
Lance Thompson on YouTube says, "How about them demon hunters?"
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we've completely missed
have
that.
you have one, right?
I have one. Yeah, I have 100.
I have 101 too. I played one during the Legion expansions. My feeling about them is they are super cool. I think Vengeance is awesome. I think Triple Jump is sweet. The dashes are great. The disengage is so cool. Like the mobility, they totally nailed the mobility of that spec.
Naomi just tweeted at us, "I got banned from chat," and then a crying gif. You should be back. I think you just got timed out. I'm sorry. Let's see. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. So, like, I love the class fantasy there. It's just not a class I'm really interested in playing. I have the same problem with Death Knights, man. Like, there's something about the hero classes, and I didn't have this with monks, funny enough. Not leveling them up, this is just a very personal thing, not leveling them up from 1 to 100 somehow cheapens the experience for me.
Yeah.
But, like...
I mean, it literally cheapens
That's ridiculous, because you spend the majority of your time at max level, but still, for whatever reason, I can't shake that feeling. And also, like, I've never really been in, despite playing a cat, which I don't... I like cat because there's a duality between that and caster and shapeshifting, but I actually don't like the whole agility archetype. I don't like the whole, like, rogue...
Oh, man.
I'm a really, like, cool, adept assassin like that. I've always preferred the warrior.
Some of the most complex arena experiences I've had was on my rogue.
Rogues are great. They're super fun. They're just...
not your cup of tea.
Yeah, aesthetically. Like, mechanically, I think they're brilliant.
Yo, I think they have the highest skill cap.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an
skill
argument to be
ceiling.
made. Skill ceiling, right.
Better. So, man, I just lost my train of thought because I was just thinking about playing the rogue. But with PvP, I'm just really, really hoping that they balance their arena experience now. Because, like I said, I'm real bitter about Cyclones, but
Sure. Do you want to talk about what they've done to potentially make that a good...
The honor talents?
Yeah, the honor talents as well as the normalization of stats. There's
you can talk better about the normalization of stats. Oh, there's a flag guy again. But it's a warlock.
Can't kill that guy for sure.
What kind of mount is he using?
Where are you? Oh, it's a Storm Drake. That's the one from Toll Brad.
Oh, cool.
So there's you get a buff or a debuff depending upon how you look at it now. When you go into any kind of organized PvP, whether it be arena, whether it be battleground, called Principles of War. And what that does is it normalizes everybody's stats down to a very small margin. So the least geared player and the most geared player are only going to be about 10% apart, which I think is brilliant, because PvP is a place for skill, not a place for gear grinding, in my opinion. Granted, there's differing opinions on that, but I think that they've made the right choice here. And that also allows them the freedom of being able to really nail down the class balance when it comes to PvP. Here's this warrior again. I'm not going to gank him twice. I'm not that much of a jerk.
Looking in YouTube chat, Eclipsil said something really nice.
What do you say?
From YouTube, of all places.
Oh, wow.
Said, I'm sitting here, not knowing anything, but enjoying it anyway.
Oh, awesome. Thank
you
so much.
That means you're enjoying what we're saying and talking about.
So let's talk about the new player experience for absolutely new players who've never played this game.
The questing experience from 1 to 100 is really fun. Have you done that recently?
Yes.
Oh my god, it is.
Though I will say, having just, my girlfriend recently moved away, and we've been looking for ways to, like, interact with each other.
Right. Bond.
So we've been playing World of Warcraft.
She plays?
She plays. Though, like, having to teach someone, because you, like, despite them making it a whole world of difference better, it is still pretty unintuitive to get going.
Oh, yeah.
That's the main complaint. And that's a very valid complaint, because, like, look at this. Look at this. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this. Look at this.
But it's more buttons, which means better, right? Right, Duggan?
More difficult is what I said, and I stand by that.
But difficult is better.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, well, you see how he's changing his stories now.
I think more dynamic is better. I think, like, being like, okay, now I'm doing this, now I'm doing...
Yeah.
Like, reacting situationally is what I've always said about these games.
That's what I like about my Red Pally, but you say you don't think they're...
No, dude, they have some great situational abilities. They really do. The bubble, they have superb utility.
Dude, Hand of Hindrance,
Hand of
Freedom,
Blessing
of Freedom, Blessing of Protection. Oh my god, Holy Pallies are very fun in PvP. Rumble Hoop Head.
They are. That is the place to play them. I played one. I did this raiding content. Well, the first raiding content, Warlords of Draenor, which is the most hardcore that I've ever raided. We got server 3rd with our kill of Heroic Margot. and I was playing on a rep heli, and the rotation was just so cool. Because that's all you're doing in PvP, is the base rotation.
And the optimal. It's got to be like you, especially with raids, like, you know, it could be like a 4, 5, 6 minute fight, and if you're doing 3% less damage because you're being using a suboptimal rotation, like over that period of time, that's a huge chunk of damage you're not contributing.
Absolutely. And so that doesn't leave a lot of room for your blessings. That doesn't leave a lot of room for your other abilities that make the class fun, I think. So I think PvP is like the place to play that class.
Holy McFlurry.
Though I hear pretty good things about both the tank and healer pally.
In PvE?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to try a different strategy here. I'm going to try rounding up a couple of mobs and using the tremendous AoE potential. There's definitely...
Starfall, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a risk that I will die here. That is...
I mean, some of these guys aren't even being pulled.
Yeah, it's definitely aggro also.
Oh, you got friends.
Yeah, this is going to be good. So that's a really good strategy if you're in a group, like pull everybody together, AoE them down. Hey, you know what class is undeniably brilliantly fun? Shaman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you playing? Well, what spec?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them are so good. I think Elemental, though, is the one that I would want to play. I may do that as an alt, but definitely focus on this guy.
I love people that try to say WoW is dead, even though it's got 8 million players. And what is it at?
So to be fair, they haven't released
the Legion stats.
The numbers. And they said they aren't going to, which I would actually be kind of surprised if they went back on. Because they're just going to shoot themselves in the foot when, like, if they don't release content and it downticks.
Yeah.
But, like, let's say we're on the low end. My conservative estimate for Legion, and I'm sure it is above this, would be 7 million.
Yeah. That still dwarfs the next...
Based upon the amount of people in the office who picked it up, the amount of old friends who've contacted me saying, hey, are you playing? I think it's probably more around 9-ish.
Yeah. Yep.
Granted, I'm just pulling those numbers out of thin air, but, like, that, you have 9 million people who just paid $50, mind you, for the expansion.
And then 15.
15 a month. Yeah, it's dead.
So 65. Yeah, it's real dead.
You don't want hundreds of millions of dollars? Okay.
Oh, it's so dead. They should go free to play. People don't know what they're talking about. It just makes me laugh. And well, what's the next biggest MMO? Would you say?
EVE. I would say the next biggest MMO is EVE Online, and that has 250,000 players, which is really good for $15 a month. And that game is like apples and oranges with World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Well, what would you say is after that then? What about Guild Wars and but
Guild Wars 2,
play.
Guild Wars 2,
free to play.
Elder Scrolls Online, I know has gotten a lot of updates. See,
Destiny. Would you count that as an MMO?
Yeah, maybe. That's definitely a shared world shooter, and whether that falls under, I think that falls under the MMO genre, subgenre. But man, this worthy challenge thing is taking forever. There's got to be something I'm missing.
Defeat the challenge.
That guy's ashes. She'll kill him for it. Take his life for that awesome amount. So like,
shout out to Eric Thapp who just got that.
He just got ashes. Congratulations, dude. That is.
So
I have
jelly.
all my alts camped outside there trying to get them in.
So jealous.
I would agree with the statement that the MMO is dead. And it's not World of Warcraft that killed the MMO. It's, oh my god, don't go in there!
Yeah, someone was, I wasn't telling you, but someone's like, run in that room, run in that room, run in that room.
Well, hopefully they're happy now.
Yep, you're welcome, there it is.
So if you haven't been paying attention for the past decade, what has happened with, and I hate to bastardize all these MMOs because they all had their unique spin, the problem was they didn't really think from the ground up. They were like, we're going to make WoW, but we're going to add this.
Yeah, we're going to make WoW 2.
Warhammer Online, WildStar.
WildStar was great.
The Old Republic. WildStar was great. WildStar had the best dungeon content I've ever played. The telegraphs were brilliant. The problem was it was behind an 80-hour quest grind that was garbage.
Yeah.
So, like, don't think outside the box if you're going to make an MMO. And here's the other part. No investor wants to invest in an MMO right now because they have just had a terrible track record. But
someone, V-Man in YouTube says, Final Fantasy released sub numbers and they were like 4 million.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that.
Cool.
Yeah,
half of WoW, which is dead.
Yeah. WoW was down to 5, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a time during the Warlords of Draenor dry spell where this got overtaken. All right, I need this champion's head. Where are you?
In YouTube comments, Lagamorpha Mage said, I'd love to be proved wrong, but free-to-play experiences have overwhelmingly shown me their limitations and left player wanting. I would agree.
League of Legends.
Yeah, it's not an MMO free-to-play though. I feel like he's specifically referring to MMO.
It's really hard to. I think the closest thing to an MMO that's a free-to-play experience that is great and consistently puts out content, and the players love, is Path of Exile.
Oh, I don't play that. But that's closer to Diablo, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's an isometric in terms of the gameplay, but it's like a kind of shared world RPG. If you're looking for a free-to-play MMO with strong RPG elements, that's your game.
Rise of the Fandom Studios in YouTube says, I just started playing about 2 months ago, and I love WoW. Oh, I'm glad to hear
awesome.
that you're liking it.
Yeah, I want to ask that guy, what got you into the game? Like, did you have kind of a teacher or a mentor? Did you look up a ton of videos? Was it a intuitive experience? I'm so curious because I cannot speak to this. I'm so biased. I've been playing this game for 12 years. Like, what is the new player experience like for you?
Okay, Rise of the Fandom Studios, did you hear all those questions?
Yeah, I would love to know.
What was it like? What was your new experience like? Please answer. We are watching you in YouTube chat. I'll go back.
So here's the reason that I don't like the Paladin rotation. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I think for PvE it's not fun. I hate looking down at my bar and not having a button to press in the next rotation. My brain does a little puzzle based upon the dots that are on the enemy, based upon how close he is to dead, and all these things. Okay, what's the most optimal button to press here? And with Paladin, there are times during that rotation where you have nothing, and you're just waiting. And I dislike that. That's why I don't play that for PvE.
That probably wholeheartedly.
Well, I don't think that ever happens in PvP because you always have something to press.
But right now, in my at least in my questing rotations, or pretty much anything.
Oh, you know what? You just got your ability.
Wake of the Ashes.
I should play it with that, and then maybe reconsider.
Wake of Ashes. Let me see. I'm looking for this guy's response. I don't know. He's probably Aiden Snod. I started playing a week ago. It's insanely fun.
That's awesome, dude.
People are asking you to play Demon Hunter.
I could. Do we want to see some of that? I could totally do that.
Do you want to do that?
Let's
do the class quest.
If we start getting a lot of play Demon Hunters in the...
You've gotten a lot.
All right.
Oh wait, the guy responded. He says, Rise of the Fandom Studios says, I had a friend that was encouraging me to play. My new experience was pretty cool. I was expecting something a little less than it is, but I'm pretty happy I started playing.
All right, we're going to go ahead and swap over to Demon Hunter for the remaining half hour on the stream. God, that flew by.
Yeah. That's because we argued for like the first hour.
That's because we just got into it, dude.
That's
Whatever.
Good.
That's better than two people here having the same opinion. And just agreeing with something that's very divisive, in my opinion.
Naomi's back. What did she say? I'm back anyway. You guys should watch Naomi play tomorrow for some Battlefield 1. Naomi, this is our stream. Don't plug yours. What is she doing? Yeah, I'm going to ban you again.
All right, here we go. Here he is. Check him out. I got my Warlords of Draenor Gold Challenge Mode dungeon weapons.
So the swords are
to
real
differentiate myself from the common Demon Hunter rabble.
That's funny. Let me see.
Start quest now. Here we go. All right. This guy's on the Alliance.
Oh.
I do think Night Elves are slightly... Not that I think they're cool, but I do think they're slightly cooler than Blood Elves.
They are a lot cooler than Blood Elves. Oh, here's your really sweet garrison. Look at how cool this is.
I never want to see this again. Get me out.
Look how cool this is. This is so great.
All right, did I get that? Did that give me the Dalaran Hearthstone like it did on the other guy? Let's find out. City under siege. Meet Khadgar in the chamber. Oh, I have to go to Stormwind, so we're going to hop on my... Actually, I'm just going to portal there.
Luke Burr says, I'm a returning WoW player. From what you guys have done so far, is Legion worth buying? Woo.
I say wholeheartedly yes.
This is not an IGN review.
Yes.
This is James
Which
Duggan
will be coming.
And Kyle O'Connor saying, I would recommend buying it.
Yeah, I would... If there were parts of World of Warcraft you like in the past, I think that there is almost nothing that this expansion is doing that is bad.
And also, the Final Fantasy MMO is also a good option. It's a good game. I've heard people...
I haven't played it.
I haven't played it, but I've heard people whose opinion I trust rave about that game.
What was my Talon on 4? Maybe I didn't even have a Talon on 4. There's so few abilities for the Demon Hunter right now.
Yeah.
Was it Demon's Bite? Oh, I feel like there was something. I took this off to do that. Look, it's the Neil macro from that thing. All right, let's...
Oh, the Neil macro. That is funny.
I guess I didn't have anything before. Excuse me. Metamorphosis.
Pack.
Spectral
I don't know how to pronounce your name in YouTube. Paik Morford. For the free-to-plays, what is everyone's thoughts on Neverwinter?
Not into it. I tried it. Not into it. Not great in my opinion. It's really hard to to try and beat WoW's game.
You got a compliment on your Demon Hunters outfit
Oh, thanks, man.
from Echo Mecho 14.
So here's the initial first hook for the Demon Hunter. It's going to actually be really hard to pull off without a keybinding. We're going to try and do it anyway.
Oh yeah, the mobility is outrageous.
It's nuts, man.
I
It's so cool.
I am not looking forward to what they're going to be like in Arena.
Kind of like Glass Cannon Melee. Unless you're on Vengeance, but then they're actually pretty easy to kite. All right, so I know, where do we think? I feel like the Dalaran portal is going to be in the Mage
It's
Tower.
Stormwind Keep.
Oh, is it Stormwind Keep?
For
Okay.
sure, yeah.
All right. It was the Cleft of Shadows for Horde. I'm not sure what it was for Alliance.
Stormwind Keep. For sure.
Another part of the class fantasy is you have this, basically the whole like class fantasy, if you're into the lore, is you have absorbed this spell energy, which if you watched that oh so well reviewed Warcraft movie, you'll know. Which
I like that movie.
I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Too. I don't think it was good, but I enjoyed it. So anyway, you have absorbed the fel, and it's part of you now, and you were just battling constantly to not have it overtake you and turn you into this corrupted fel force. But it's giving you these extreme powers.
That's awesome.
And one of those powers is Spectral Sight, which allows you to see stealthy units, which is very cool anti-rogue mechanic. You move slower when you're using it. That's pretty dope. I got this guy from a little Tanan jungling, which I think is
Really fits your aesthetic.
Yeah. There's a whole collection of fel mounts. So one thing that's a little bit what's the word I'm like, demotivating to newer players is they come in and they've realized they've missed some mounts, they've missed some things. But the thing that is really cool is you can kind of categorize your collection. So for right now, for Demon Hunter, there are no fel-themed mounts that you just can't get anymore.
Oh.
There is the Gladiator mount, but that one you couldn't have gotten on your Demon Hunter because it's character specific. So like, if you're coming to WoW for the first time and you want to like in 3 years show that you've been playing Stable Anomaly. Oh, I have to do this garbage. Okay, we're just gonna.
No, you're talking to people. Oh wait, yeah, no.
Then
see unstable anomaly. There's an item in your bag.
That's right here too. Demon Hunter may actually not be a bad choice for new players. A lot of people are saying don't do it if you're a new player. I say it's pretty. The rotation's very basic. It's about gaining. This resource and spending this resource, which I think is really cool. The mobility is really fun.
Double jump is really cool.
Double jump is really cool. The wings are really cool. I think it's a pretty good class for new players to get a handle on things, and then you can maybe delve into some more complicated classes later, or not. Like, simple is only simple in the context of nothing else going on. When there's AoE flying everywhere, and when there's PvP stuff happening, every class is complicated.
Delson T. Silva says, LOL, that mouse pointer is exactly like the Ultima Online pointer.
I'm sure this game took a couple of cues from Ultima Online. Yep, and EverQuest. But hey, that's what Blizzard does. They iterate.
They pay homage.
I'm not saying they plagiarize. Iteration is the path to great games. That's clearly proven.
Luke Johnson says, hi, used to play WoW years ago with my brothers, and Legion looks really cool, but I don't have any characters. Do you think it's worth it to start at level 1 and go from there?
Yeah, I don't know if you actually get a free level 100 for Legion or if that was a pre-order thing.
I think it was a pre-order thing.
They may have extended it. Sometimes they extend it a little bit into the first week or something like that. If you don't have any characters, first of all, like level 1 to 100 is just so good.
It's really fun. The questing they did a really great job with that whole experience. Actually,
they could have left it. They could have left it garbage.
Yeah.
So the reasons why it's good. Let's explain why it's good. They went back when they redid all the class fantasies. They're like, you know what? It's kind of silly to wait until level 30 or 40 to really start stretching your legs with your class. We're going to give you your specialization at level 10.
Yeah.
Which is like 30 minutes of gameplay. Is that one of them? Or is that? I think that's just a similar looking thing. So you immediately are making choices about what you want the fantasy of your character to be. You know, if you're a hybrid spec, if you want to be more of a healer, more of a tank, more of a damage dealer. If you're a mage, if you want to be arcane, fire, all of those carry gameplay connotations. But like Frost Mage is all about
control.
Immobilizing people.
I love Frost Mage PvP.
It's great, man.
Oh
it's
my
very
god.
good.
Shatter combos on people. Oh god, just okay, you're stuck in place. You haven't been able to move now, and then all of a sudden, just like a frost bolt flying at him, and like 2 ice lances, and then just.
Yep. A little bit of RPing. What should we talk about? Let's talk about the 2 specs for Demon Hunter. If this is and then once you get to level 75, I believe, you have the choice then to switch to a Demon Hunter, which is going to spit you out at level 100. So you have Havoc and you have Vengeance. Havoc is all about mobility. It's all about unleashing that fell energy. You have your Chaos Nova, which is big AoE stun. You have I-Beam, which is one of the coolest abilities in the game.
Yeah.
Though you can bash it. You can, cancel it.
Yeah.
It's interruptible. Yeah, thank you. But if you time it right, you basically just let all of this energy out of your eyes, and it just obliterates stuff. Like the damage per second is second to none.
I think you gotta wait.
Yeah, these guys are RPing.
Oh yeah.
Starting you off with some cool RP. Vengeance, on the other hand, is all about self-heal.
Oh, Echo Meko says all Legion purchases get level 100 boosts forever.
There you go.
Interesting.
I think that's great. I think if you decide to make an alt, I think 1 to 100 is still great.
I'm definitely gonna pay for a boost.
I already have. Yeah, I paid for boost on my mage.
Yeah.
These guys still RPing? I wish I knew.
Because I don't have enough free time to justify just leveling another character if I've done it,
Sure.
how many times.
Yeah, it becomes a money versus time thing.
It
like,
totally does. You gotta witness the teleportation of Dalaran.
Yep. Let's do this stuff. This is pretty cool.
I really like that the Legion is kind of like advanced tech.
Yeah,
These
they're
floating warships.
It's like I would describe it as like Eldritch, which is like
yeah.
so ancient and advanced that it's just beyond our comprehension. And that's kind of the whole.
Look at
concept.
you fancy words.
D&D, man.
Yeah, I know.
Got 20 minutes left. That's
20
plenty
minutes.
of time to get into our class fantasy here with the Demon Hunter, which I'm very excited to get into. I was a really big fan of the Demon Hunter starting zone. What's cool about the Demon Hunter starting zone, and if you haven't created a Demon Hunter yet, take your time, explore. There are these little small chests scattered throughout that are going to give you better gear than you would get naturally, as well as these items like a permanent buff. So we're teleporting Dalaran here to the Broken Isles to avoid this, to kind of take the fight to them. And I'm going to show you some of those right now, but
We got a question from the Buzzer One, who clearly didn't tune in for the first hour of the stream.
it's fine.
Thoughts on bringing vanilla legacy servers becoming an official thing? We argued. for
Rewatch the VOD of this. We argued for a solid hour on that.
I'm not going to watch that argument.
I think that there's an argument to be made, albeit a relatively weak one.
Yep.
He does not. He does not think it could ever be justified.
I don't.
I think the idea of a progression server could be really fun for nostalgia purposes as well.
Define
as
what you
maybe-
mean by progression server.
So what progression server is everybody starts with level cap of 60. The next month, 1.1 rolls out, 1.2, 1.3, and it eventually gets to. That's something that EverQuest has done that people like. But hey,
What does it stop and then does it roll back?
where is my Demon Hunter guy, by the way? He should be popping up here, saying hello. I don't know. Oh, there he is. Haha, there you are. But this isn't the guy I chose. That's a little bit annoying.
Corvus Bloodthorn.
But to Kyle's point, all of that stuff is going to take development resources and divert them away from other features of the game. But to that argument, I really don't think Blizzard has a problem with resources. And I think they've already diverted so many resources that World of Warcraft has gotten to other titles that maybe if there's a significant amount of people who want it, I think that there is an argument to be made for it, basically. But anyway,
I'm not.
let's not
We've
even
already
get,
argued
let's
about
not
it.
even get back to that.
Yeah. I have to say it.
Clearly a divisive topic.
Working in a corporate environment, you understand how tight resources are.
They are tight, but this is more aimed at like the upper management. I'm not saying this to the developers who would want to make that and just can't.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I sympathize with that.
Yeah.
It's just more. Maybe
I just
this is
think if they
something
were
your
to do it,
players
they
want.
should just take the people who ran Nostalrius or whatever the name was that server was,
Sure.
and just empower them to do it in an official capacity.
Yeah.
If they were willing to do it free, just give them the tools to do it right.
This is so interesting. I didn't have this on my Druid at all. They took
No.
me to the Grove.
Yeah, mine took me to a whole different experience.
So it's definitely different with every class you play. Though you were whoa.
Oh.
Heroic.
That's
Do I have to? Whoopsies.
interesting.
I go in here, right? No, I don't. What do I do? Tell me. Oh, there we go.
Let us inside, or I shall show you the difference. Whoa.
Easy, bro.
Dang. Let me see. Looking at comments.
All right, so now I'm going to continue. There we go. Violet Hold. Not a lot of people liked it in Wrath. I actually did.
I liked it. Oh, well, I
liked it.
mean, I don't speak for everyone else, but I liked it.
So the idea here is it's kind of a prison. It's got a visual update, and there are all these. There are all these ancient, kind of pseudo villains from. I mean, they're not like top tier villains, but they're all meanies. It's a prison in Dalaran.
Meanies, bad guys.
And what's really cool about this that I would love to see more of in World of Warcraft and games like it that have this 5, 10, 20 man PvE experience, cooperative PvE experience, is you go through this once. Is that Draxus? That's Draxus.
Is it?
Maybe not.
It is an Eridar we have to talk to.
It is an Eridar. So, whoop.
Oh, yeah, Windows 10.
So, what's cool about this dungeon, if you see all this stuff, not all of these open.
It's random, right?
It's random. So you get a random boss every time you run. It resets daily. And that is so cool because the amount of times I can run through this and not be experiencing the same content is higher, which I think is really cool, personally. This is not Jiraxis. I misspoke. He's got some sweet armor. Oh, check this out.
Yeah, he does.
This is the perfect toy for this particular occasion. Jewel of Hellfire.
Applies directly to the forehead. Hey, you look like him. Oh.
Hey, don't choke me, bro. I'm one of your own.
Don't choke me, bro.
Look at how cool these weapons look on this character.
Yeah, you look really cool.
I gotta fight
Oh,
this guy.
it's essentially Diablo style. You just shove it right in your forehead.
Yeah, I think it's a Diablo homage, honestly. So let's immediately check this out. Oh, look, telegraphs. This is what I love. Warcraft has done a great job with this. This is stuff that you have to not run into. And you know what's really good at not running into that? Demon Hunters, because they have all these
Double
crazy
jump.
mobility, all this kind of stuff. I also have this, which increases my dodge chance for 100% during the duration. And if I was wanting to get really fancy, I could go demon form.
Metamorphosis, right?
Metamorphosis, and that a lot of people think that increases your flat increases your damage. It doesn't actually. It replaces your 2 spender abilities. So the best time to use that is right after you've reached full. There's something that the Demon Hunter does not have a lot of in the Havoc spec, but does have a lot of in Vengeance, is self-heal. And that is something that can be a little bit frustrating to new players when they're like, why am I not recuperating HP? And so, as you can clearly see, I've leveled my first aid, I've leveled my fishing.
You're cooking.
My cooking. These are professions that help me recoup HP out of combat to kind of make up for my class's weaknesses.
I'm just looking at comments. We got, what, another 12 minutes?
I want to stream this every day, dude. It's too fun.
Yeah, I know. We should be able to, but people don't appreciate it. Alicia Mayo says in Facebook comment, Mayo, sorry. Stopped playing 5 years ago, level 80 Frost Mage. I want to start back up. Yep, give it a shot.
That was a great time.
It's fun. Yeah,
you can boost,
really
so yeah, you can boost to 100 if you don't want to do that and you want to level through the content, you could, but I would probably recommend boosting and then maybe going back and experiencing that old content once you've hit max level. You can get this mount eventually. Without that.
Oh, that's really cool. I like the way the wings flap.
Yep.
Very, I don't know the right word for it. Whatever.
Awesome.
Hey,
Hey, Suramar. This is, this is probably the coolest zone in World of Warcraft, period. So the whole zone, except for this part we're in right now, is a giant city. And this is kind of the Tanan jungle of Legion. The difference is it's here right at launch, not 8 months after the fact. And what that is an open world questing zone that gives you some introductory gear to doing some of the more hardcore stuff like PvP, raids, dungeons, Mythic Plus, stuff like that. And it's kind of like the beginning of the end game. If there's one thing that World of Warcraft has nailed down to a science, aside from that 14-month dry spell, it's the end game. Like, I remember in the Division...
Besides a year and 2 months worth of...
I don't know what happened. I'm not going to comment on that because I'm not part of the development team. I'm sure they are more than aware that that was a problem. But, so I remember like when the Division was happening and people were like, where's the end game? People were like, what's the end game? The end game is content you do when you've hit max level. And it's this kind of promise of continuation of content to do that's replayable, that is cooperative, that's fun, that's leveraging the MMO aspect of the game.
So is Suramar your favorite area in WoW?
I have not played enough of it to tell you. Funny enough, this is a very divisive
Aside
opinion.
from Legion, what is your favorite area?
Tanan Jungle.
I know it's not particularly good, but I love Nagran.
Oh, dude, that's like a universally loved.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
people
I
love
was
that.
dude, it's just something about it I just loved so much. The floating stuff. Oh,
In terms of aesthetics, I don't know, but in terms of like just the zone, I thought like Tanan Jungle got a lot of flack in the context of
Ooh.
I'm gonna die.
you're dead.
Yeah, I would need to. Vengeance might be the spec to level in, but maybe not actually. Self heal is not here for sure.
Can you bandage yourself?
I could have blurred, but I didn't think to do that while it was. I'm just gonna leash these guys, and then as soon as I'm out, we're gonna.
Demi Marie says, thinking of renewing my account. Okay.
Go for it. Yeah, it's all these people saying thinking about getting back into it. There has not been a better time to get back into World of Warcraft in recent memory, for sure. Get the hell out of here! What is your leash range? Oh my god!
Yeah, you're dead, my friend.
No, dude. I might die from... Oh, I'm not going to die from fall damage because I have wings. Which pop out of my lower back as I'm not the model this was intended to be played on. What is going on right now? Is this like a dungeon? It must be.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to have to do some of this. I should have gotten potions. This will not be enough. But you know what I might be able to do is actually kind of juggle some cooldowns here and get some...
All right, here we go. Can I survive?
So one thing I can do... Come on, die. Oh. And I'd like to point out that he didn't put out a soul shard that would have healed me for whatever reason. Don't know why.
What is happening? Let me look.
So one thing to note when you start Legion content, take it slow. I think like 14 months of being completely overpowered for the content got me in the mindset of just pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. You kind of got to go back to the vanilla leveling experience of being like, okay, let's cool down here. This is definitely a puzzle. The Demon Hunter. Let's
Eat food.
Oh yeah, thanks. I think I have some food that'll buff me. Yeah, let's do that. 10 seconds of awesome eating gameplay here on IGN Live.
Let's see, riveting.
If
I
you
wish we could edit it. Like,
if you have questions, tweet at IGN with the hashtag IGNPlaysLive. You can also follow me at ThugandDuggan and Kyle at Kyle on Twitter. We would love your support, and we're just going to go ham. You ready?
Go, do it. Happen.
Gonna pop a defensive cooldown here, get some blur action going on. Gonna go into a second stun. There's so few abilities that I can narrate everything I'm doing on this class right now.
Here we go. You're doing a good job.
Thanks.
You got I beam.
Gonna line them up in I-beam. Pop this.
Yeah.
Get the real good damage.
You're
Do
doing
this.
well. You're doing well.
And then I can stop sweating a little bit because I start picking up these soul shards. So when you do kill people, that's where your self-heal comes from, just the soul shards. The difference with Vengeance is those soul shards are popping out all the time.
Loot.
You have an
What are you
ability
doing?
that actually...
Loot.
I
Oh,
looted.
you looted. Okay.
It just looks... I gotta absorb all these demons. I wonder if I can kill two of these dudes at the same time. With cooldowns down, we're gonna find out.
You know what you should have done while you were running away? Shadow Meld.
Oh my god, yeah, I didn't even think of that. You were so right.
Oh, apparently Echo Meko says each spec gets their own storyline.
That's really cool. It's a lot of resources. Well spent, though, in my opinion.
Let me see. Goramir on IGN says, I'm going to update and log on just to fly around for a while and check out the greater draw distance. I assume you don't have to buy Legion to get that, right? I'm going to wait until Legion is $10 to even bother with it.
You're going to be waiting a long time. I will
Yeah.
tell you that right now. But yeah, you don't actually have to. You don't have to
You
log
have
in.
stuff on your minimap.
Yeah, thanks. You don't, or you do have to log in. You don't have to buy Legion to get the revamped classes, to get the new spec system, to get
We
the
got
draw
5
distance
minutes,
and all
my
that
friend.
stuff. We do have 5 minutes. Check that out. See if we can power through this stuff. Maybe, maybe not.
You haven't got your twin blades of the Deceiver.
No. So if I have any advice for new players in terms of the Demon Hunter, it's really just all about making sure your resource is being spent. The thing you don't want to do, as I will demonstrate right now, is be capping out on resources and spamming the same button. You want to make sure you're using it on I-beam, you want to make sure you're using it on your Blade Dance, your other abilities. stuff like that. It's
Oh, yeah,
a
you
very
should always be using your cooldowns and your resources.
yeah, unless they're situational,
not like
you're
mana.
saving them for something, right?
It's not like mana.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is I think this is a very good introductory spec in terms of its basic playstyle. You know, maybe not in PvP. Maybe that connotation of it being a glass cannon is not easy for new players, but certainly for PvE, I think it's a very good spec to start with. Come on, just
Dude,
die
you are
so I
getting
can get your stuff.
Roasted.
I just gotta heal that. 75, cool.
I can't wait to get home and play this.
Good job. Yeah, it's gonna be dope. I am bummed I have to do other work for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I've got meetings and meetings and meetings. Ugh.
So you don't have any work for the rest of the day. Here is the Demon Hunter class mount. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Salty, I can't get that on other characters, but God, does that look good.
Oh, is that the dude whose side you didn't take? Veridus Spellsoul. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Screw that guy. He's a jerk.
Let me
man,
see.
I wish I had potions here.
I'm looking at comments.
Let me interrupt this. Why is that button not bound? That's bad news. It's really bad news for me right now. Overlapping my defensive like the scrub, but whatever.
All right, we got no questions as of yet. This has been fun.
This has been super fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing the comments in this section when the VOD goes live of us arguing.
Yeah. I'm glad that argument was had. I wish that either of us had understood each other better. I think we both did a pretty poor job.
Well, it's because you're trying to play and I'm trying to read comments while we're
That's
bickering.
true. That's true.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when you would talk, I would focus on playing, and when I would talk, you would focus on
Yeah, so that's why neither of us was listening to what we were saying. It's okay. It was entertaining. There you go. I am really excited too, once I hit 110, to go back and solo some Pandaria content and get the appearance of that gear.
Something that's really cool about the Demon Hunter is anytime you interrupt a spell cast, is you get 50 Fury, which is a huge amount of your. It was on cooldown, otherwise I would have done it there. Which is just a huge amount. All right, so let's kill this boss. We got 2 minutes. We are going to do it.
You can do it. You're the best. He looks really cool.
Yeah, he's it's the Bethelak model, or not Bethelak. I'm sorry, the other guy from Fire.
Oh yeah, yeah. They are very thrifty with their resources.
Yeah, well, only makes so many things. High beam time. It's not going to cast anything. I can't interrupt that. But what I can do is dodge that.
Nice. Wow, you murdered this guy.
There we go. And then here's the final ward to end this quest. So this was a little look at the Demon Hunter. That was a bigger look at Legion, which is out now. And the consensus from everybody in the office who's played it so far is we are really, really enjoying it. It's all the things that I think that we've been talking about that we want the game to do. It's doing. Revisiting class fantasy, honor talents, mythic plus dungeons, going to any area you want in leveling instead of having to go through a progression. And there is just so much more of that. The appearance tab.
Oh my god, that, like, be able to farm everything.
Yep. And yeah, that's been a look at World of Warcraft Legion here on IGN Plays Live. And for all your questions about Legion, go ahead and tweet at IGN. And Kyle, who is the moderator there and our social head, the lead of the social guys.
That's me.
The social king with the beard.
The social king? Can I change that to my official title?
Yeah, I hope so. He will answer your questions. And for everything else video games, you're already in the right place here at IGN.